Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 71 of On the Backs of Gods. And just real fast, I hope you guys are having a great holidays and happy Hanukkah. If you can't tell, I'm a fan. I'm just a personal fan of the holiday. I like many a holiday. Very holiday inclusive. Oh, it's
We
just
like us a holiday in the Dice Cult.
Josh was trying to talk to me, and I'm like, and I'm like, yeah.
Huh?
Speaking of Hanukkah, just real fast, the first night of Hanukkah, I received a stuffed capybara from my mother.
Please tell me you named him Hercules.
Well, it has to be. I didn't even get to name him. She's like, look, I got you an Hercules. It wasn't up to me. But he will be
You
here
have
with
to
us.
share. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful.
And it technically means I adopted a capybara, and we support him monetarily, I guess. Some capybara somewhere is like a sugar baby.
Yeah.
And not important.
Big rodents, big spenders.
Yeah. But he's back in town having a good time. Not like where you guys are. But anywho, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, enjoy. I am Jillian, the DM, and we have our players popping in and out, same as always. We have Frank, who will be back shortly.
I'm here. I hope I'm here.
The voice of Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo should be with us very soon, hopefully. Always hoping. Because I think we're gonna have a fun time tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and give us a quick recap, and we're gonna jump into things. Also, a reminder to people watching that we are still playing bingo. Each character has a bingo sheet where they, if they make bingo, they get an inspiration point, and if they fill out the whole sheet, they get a magic item. So this is just a fun way for them to possibly do things that they maybe didn't think about, use abilities they don't use often, and just have a good time. It almost led to PvP last session because of friendship, but that's not important.
But it's okay. It's all right.
I think it was beautiful, and I kind of wish it had happened.
Reason did win out in the end.
I was a big fan. Anyway,
Nanna was grateful.
We're all fine. Anyways, so you had gotten to town, there was a festival, and a sickness of some sort caught up with Nanna. Not sure what to do about the issue, magic not seeming to work. The chief of said town, Ragna, said that there is an old medicine woman in the woods nearby. Maybe she's there. She couldn't even promise that the woman was there because she stopped seeing people a long time ago. The party jumped to it. Ptolemaeus and Hercules stayed behind to do research and maybe not die in the woods. It's always the dream. But the party makes their way into the woods, knowing that there is vaguely a path, and that path is lit by lanterns. These lanterns are present for a good bit of the trek, and then it seems somebody or something took the rest of them down and threw them on the ground. The party took some of them for funsies, and continued onwards with Fen at the lead, leading the party through the woods now that the path was not as obvious. Saga, seeing a light in the distance, thinking that it was one of the lanterns, follows it, but was just tricked by a will-o-wisp and ends up falling in some mud as they laugh at her as she walks away. But eventually, after a long time of walking in the foggy woods, Fen sees a house up ahead, has a game plan for him and Roshan to go talk to the person inside, and the fastest skip she's ever done, Saga bulldozes forward after she sees the symbol of Lady Satyr adorned all over this house. She runs forward and ends up meeting another follower of Lady Satyr, a very old woman, who is the medicine woman of legend. She does not seem interested in helping very much, and certainly not letting any men into her house. That seems like what she is not going to do today. So only Nanna and Saga were permitted entry. This is where, using divination magics, she discovers that Nanna has fallen ill because of corruption making its way into her body in the form of little worms, which had made home inside of her heart. The medicine woman, Nira, says that all you have to do is live a normal life and you don't have to worry about dying. To which Nanna replies she can't do that and that she has promises to keep, to which the reply is, then those promises will kill you. But as she tries to end the encounter, Saga is able to convince her that maybe she can do one more healing job, just as friends of Lady Satyr. And she acquiesces. All you all had to do was do some chores around the house, fell a dead tree, take some stuff off the roof, go fetch a bucket of water. And then after a heart-to-heart between Saga and this old woman, recounting how they are similar in some ways and not in others, but they pray together, and the woman tells Saga what she needs. She needs an alive, captured will-o-wisp and deadman's fingers. And that's where we left off, was with this woman looking into Saga's eyes after requesting deadman's fingers. And I would love to start there. As the sound of like wood chopping outside, Fen, very light footsteps walking around on the roof, but the scrape of the rake, kind of loud. Nanna sitting on a rock writing letters because she cannot participate in any of the manual labor. Saga, what do you do? What do you say after she tells you the ingredients?
Well, most of those are okay. The only thing is, the finger part. So,
you don't
normally
have to worry about it. I have some saved up.
Oh, you do have them. Oh, okay.
I do, but they're, when I was younger, I could get around a bit better. So, sometimes you put a thing in a jar, and I acquired some, and I put them in a jar, and then I buried them beneath the earth, keep them cool, and never went back for them.
Okay, so we need to dig them out of the ground?
Yes. Let me see. She's going to try to remember as many details as she can about where this is located.
I'll put my hand on her shoulder and give her guidance.
All right. That's very helpful. Okay. She looks at you and there's just a little bit of a smile. Okay. One of the places I usually tried to keep things close to where I acquired them, in bundles as best I could. There's an area where the ground starts to become more like mud, and there are large areas of stagnant, gross waters. There's also a very large tree. I remember it being somewhere near a large tree. I also put markers on the ground, but once again, this was a very long time ago.
Is it going to be easier to find a jar buried very deep in the ground, or just find the fingers?
Well, if you're able to find some on your own, by all means, but I have some at the ready for you.
So, you know about the thing where like something dies and then it comes back from the dead and tries to eat you? So do the fingers just not do that?
She looks at you. Haven't had an experience with it like that yet.
Oh, you haven't had anything come back and hurt you?
Oh, well, things have come back on occasion. Recently, I think more than ever, but No. Haven't had issues with anything I've put in a jar.
Oh, we should have put.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry, were you going to say we should have put Ave in a jar?
I didn't say it though. She thought about it, but then realized she shouldn't say that in front of this lady.
It's true. You put the man in a jar.
We should have gotten a big jar and put him inside.
The jarring epiphany.
Oh boy. She looks at you. She seems a bit confused. She's like,
that's a good thing to know. I'll keep that in mind for later.
of course, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Now that I dwell on it, the reason I stopped going there was something a bit bigger moved in. So, if you're bigger than me, I suppose you win the area.
I think we're about the same size, but like a bear or like a big tree person, or maybe like a giant.
Well, it was quite big. I only saw it like it was crouched near-ish to the large tree, and I could see it from a good distance. It looked like part of it was submerged a bit, and I decided that the fingers were not worth it, and I left them there. But if you're quiet, you might be able to acquire them. It's also very close to where some of those Will-O-Wisps hang out, so it's a similar-ish area.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Everyone's surprisingly good at rolling very quietly, so he should be fine. Okay. That's about all, I suppose. So we can just go get those things and get started. I would like to, I don't know if you have time to, like, sit and chat, but maybe we should do that after, just so Nanna's fixed first.
Of course, I have to put everything together anyways, so we could talk then.
Okay. Yeah. I do have, like, a question, but I feel like I should wait till later.
Okay.
Yes.
Whatever you think's best.
Well, maybe if I ask you now, could you, like, maybe it's better to have time to think about it?
Perhaps.
Okay, it's a big question. So, what if what if we both, like, do you have Lady Satyr drops? What if I used your Lady Satyr drops and you used my Lady, or you could use my Lady Satyr drops? And then we could get a vision? Because you said your prophecy ended and you couldn't remember. What if I took your Lady Satyr drops and then I remember your prophecy and then I could help you finish it? Or maybe if you have my Lady Satyr drops, you could finish your prophecy by remembering. I don't know. I'm not sure.
She ponders it. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I didn't have dice out. 16.
Okay. She ponders it. Go ahead and roll insight as well.
Hey,
While we're here.
different dice for this. Bad idea. 9.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Yeah, I thought giving you time would be helpful. Anyway, I'll see you later.
All right.
Thank you very much for everything already. Really appreciate it.
Of course. I hope it's all worth it to you.
Oh, absolutely already. We have a lot to get done, and this is gonna really help. Alright, I'll talk to you later. And leave. Wave a bunch.
You back out waving. She waves a bit and then kind of lowers her hand and like just kind of watches you leave. But eventually you get outside.
Saga has difficulty, like, not, like, this is real right now. She's real.
If I turn away, does it stop happening?
Exactly.
Okay. Hello everybody. So I have ingredients for what we need to do.
Yes.
Ben, go down.
Yes, Saga. I'm
Can you
right.
come,
I'm
can you
right
come
down.
down? Can you
Yes.
come down? Okay, thank you.
Ben will do a cool superhero landing on the ground.
Oh, it's terrible for your spine.
Jumps from the 7-foot corner, just
Real rough on the knees.
And then gather everybody.
Okay, so we need to get 2 things. It's pretty simple. We just need to get a live willow wisp, the one that we saw earlier, and we need to get dead man fingers. But she said that we didn't need to get them. We could get them out of a jar that she buried beside a big tree next to the mud.
Does she mean actual fingers or the mushroom?
I was about to ask.
Um,
I suppose if she already has a jarred specimen, it would be just as easy to find that.
I didn't realize there was a difference. I did ask her if she ever had problems with them hurting her, and she said no, keeping them in a jar was very helpful for that. So I don't know if that means that the jar was... how did I... Never mind.
Can fungi be corrupted?
Who?
who's this fun guy you're talking about?
Mushrooms, I mean.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Dear me.
Maybe it's not a mushroom. I thought it was a finger.
I'm
Neither
not sure.
Sounds pleasant, but in either case,
Does your friend have a way for us to capture and bring back a will-o-wisp?
I didn't ask. Should I ask?
We're not really supposed to fuck with them. We're supposed to let them be and ignore them. But if it will save Nanna,
Well,
then
Yeah, it's
I think we could probably catch one.
I think with just our bare hands would be pretty painful to try and bring one back. So maybe she has an idea.
Well, if we get the mushroom, the fingers possible mushroom first, and we have the jar, then we can use the jar.
What about a lantern? There are lanterns
I thought-
along the path. We could try to trap one in there.
Can it open?
You have to be able to put a wick in there somehow, no?
Julian.
Gorbjorn pulls out one of his lanterns.
It's got
part of it.
Wasn't sure if it had the door.
Yeah, it opened.
That's cute.
Okay. We got that. We can do that.
And you know, will-o'-the-wisps are supposed to vanish at a moment's notice. Can't help but to imagine that a lantern that illuminates the impossible to see might come in handy. She kind of lifts up the lantern that Ptolemaeus had given her.
Well,
Look at this.
just be sure to stay well clear of them, Nanna. I don't want you raising their ire.
I'm not interested in any kind of confrontation at the moment. I would really love to just sort of lay down and sleep, but that is currently not an option.
Well, you could. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably stay here with her if you wanted to.
No,
but-
absolutely not.
Okay. Well,
I really would rather be on my feet at the moment. I really would.
okay. Just remember what she said. Don't run around her too much or anything like that.
Of course. Walking only. Moderate jog at the very worst. Galvegona.
I
All right.
I have these bolas that I made ages ago. They might be useful in catching them. They snare them out of the air potentially, unless there's a better method of doing that. Tordrick, do you have any sort of magic that could hold them in some way?
Tordrick stops chopping the wood that he's doing in the back. What was that? What did you need? He comes slowly well, for him, as fast as he can, with his little feet, little legs running up to you. What did you want, Finn?
I was just wondering that we're meant to capture a will-o-wisp alive, and they're tricky little bastards. I was wondering if you knew any magic that could restrain them in some way. Well, we get it.
Well, I don't think so. But catching anything, just gotta have some bait. Set up the bait. You got something to? Can't hold on to him, can we?
Gorbjorn, not Gorbjorn. He's not. He's staring into the void. Tordrekt. Go ahead and roll me. I think religion will work for this one. Go ahead and roll me a religion check if you'd be so kind.
I will do that right now, milady.
Why, thank you.
And I rolled a big, ugly 7.
Oof. I have I have no assistance for you. I'm sorry to say. As you ponder the question, like there's spells like hold person, and then you have to ponder is a will-o-wisp a person, and then you're like I'm not positive.
Right.
Nothing really comes to you past what you maybe can think of.
Right. I could pray, maybe for some help with this. I have no problem doing that, but I can't think of anything. I've never ran into him myself, but like I said, if you've got the bait, we might be able to find something.
Well, I think we're the bait. If we look lost enough, that's what they seem to like. Go ahead, Saga.
I don't know if we want to do it. Hurt a lot. I don't know if we want to do that again. I can make illusion things. Maybe we just do an illusion thing instead of somebody getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like the bait is the illusion, and then we'll put Finn in a tree, and he can jump down with whatever we're going to hold it in, and he can just put the creature in it.
Exactly.
Finn jumps out of trees real good. That'd surprise him.
It might work. Let's see if we can get close and find one first.
Yeah.
We should take advantage of the rest of the daylight we have left, honestly.
And Finn, you were pestering me not very long ago to make better use of my boots. I have a feeling that having things appear closer to the way they are back home would make for an advantageous ground on which to catch a tricky will-o'-the-wisp, huh?
I would just need clarification on how they work. It's just an illusion. I don't want to step in a puddle, honestly, thinking that it's good ground, right?
I would need DM confirmation on exactly who is affected by the illusion. Can I exempt certain people from it?
I don't believe you can.
So
if you have a question outside of the description, you're going to have to roll Arcana.
Okay, so it's a space that's familiar to me personally. I get advantage on stealth, perception, athletics, and acrobatics checks, as well as a +1 bonus to AC. The illusion lasts for 10 minutes and functions similarly to the hallucinatory terrain spell. I can look that up if you want me to.
I'm saying it affects everybody.
Okay. Yeah, DC 15 wisdom save, no roll for the person, if the person watched everything change. Saving throw disbelieves the illusion, but does not see through it.
Yeah, so if there is something per se, like a puddle, it would be covered with a bush. And even though Fen is aware that there are puddles here, it is still it is a bush.
So he doesn't step in it anyway.
So it depends. I was saying it's possible he could step in it or try to walk through it.
Okay.
But if he sees you cast it, it's fine though, right?
If you see me cast it, then
he would have to try to memorize the area first, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Unless it's like a very obvious thing where like I put right here a bear trap. We all know the bear trap is present. But if it's which foot of area do have the deep mud, it might be harder. But you could try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So here's my thought. If we can find one, and that's the first point of order, is finding one of these things again. Because it seems to me they, according to legend, they find you. But I throw a bolus. It captures it, knocks it to the ground, holds it in position. Gorbjorn rolls in. He does his roll thing and claps it closed in the lantern. Boom, we have it. We bring it back.
Now we gotta get the fingers.
Which should we do? Which should we do first?
Oh, I forgot to mention. She said the fingers, there's a really big monster beside them. Sorry. I forgot to
Fingers?
mention that.
Oh, pardon?
What fingers? We got to get fingers?
Yes. So she said she needed some dead man fingers, and they are buried in the ground in a jar.
I didn't like her when I first met her. Now I know I don't like her. Why does she need a dead man's fingers?
Hold on a
That's-
moment.
She's
Torch.
very, very nice.
he puts his hands behind his back like, I'm not dead either. Never.
Oh, no,
These are
no.
mine.
Portrait.
It's okay.
Told you she's going to save Nana's life.
I,
We don't have to like her. We need her to save Nana.
I like her.
We don't need to kill somebody though, do we?
But no, she said
apparently
you already
there's-
have
as
some.
long as we retrieve the jar full of the required specimen that she has directed Saga towards. Which
I think then that we
I
need to
think-
head toward the specimen first, and hopefully we find a will-o-wisp along the way. I don't think, if what
Well, we
Fenn's
chanced
saying is
upon that
correct,
on our
we
way
can't
here.
go looking for one.
all right.
We know where they were. So, but no, I like your idea, Roshan. I think you're on the right path, and hopefully we're not led on to the wrong path by these things. They're tricky little bastards.
I think it'll be okay.
I hope it will be okay, and we just need to stick together, and by no means should we leave Nana by herself.
Gorbjorn's
You need
already
to work
started
on your
walking.
optimism.
Gorbjorn's already back towards the path. He's like, I heard we're going, and he already walked.
Yes.
Oh,
See,
right,
that is
yeah.
an optimist right there. And I start with him.
Roshan will follow Saga and then ask, did you happen to ask her about her lanterns? Why they were just in a pile, but kind of also leading into this woods?
You know what? I really wish that you guys had been able to be in. I'm very bad at asking questions, I think. I forgot that too. I kind of got really interested in Lady Seder stuff. I did.
I'm
did
not
say we-
surprised or unhappy with you. We can give you a list of questions when we
Oh,
go back.
that would be very helpful. Actually, thank you very much. I did tell her that I would like to sit down and talk afterwards. So I think she's already prepared for it. Or preparing. So I also should.
All right. I'll keep a list for you if we come up with anything else.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect. Well then, let's
Right.
go.
I'm bringing the rake. And
Just straps it to his back.
well, no, I mean,
nonchalantly.
if we knock the will-o-wisp down, someone could run up and kind of pin it down with the rake while the other person puts it in the jar. Is my thought.
That's some optimistic thinking right there.
I spent a lot of time on this rake. I don't want to leave it behind.
I understand.
Took you like 10 seconds.
The longest
10
place
seconds
a
I
long
could have been
time
doing
for
something
him.
useful with.
You should
He'll
see
never
him
get
when
it
he
back.
really gets going.
10 seconds
Honestly,
gone forever.
he can whittle down 5 rakes in 5 seconds. I've seen him do it.
The man
Wow.
can make a rake.
It's amazing none of the festivals have had rake making contests.
I know, honestly, wasted talent.
As you all talk, who is going? I'll take 2 people at the front if people are trying to like lead.
I was given instructions, so I feel like I should be standing further towards the beginning front
Okay.
area.
Probably so.
You said Gorbjorn was already walking out front, right?
So
So
I mean, you can't get ahead of him. He's just walking.
I'm going to stay by
Nana
Nana.
is sticking to the middle.
Yeah, I'm
as
staying
before.
by Nana.
Georgia
Okay,
could try to just keep up.
Gorbjorn's going to roll. Uh, we'll start off with a survival check from Gorbjorn and
God.
Saga.
Oh boy.
Survival.
Come on, guys.
Can't do perception.
No.
Okay.
This is for kind of retracing one steps is what we're doing currently.
That's all right. Can I give Gorbjorn guidance?
Sure. I haven't heard the outcome yet, so sure.
I got a dirty 20.
Ooh.
And you want
Survival.
perception?
Survival.
Okay.
I tried to get perception. Didn't
And he gets guidance, so a D4.
Yes.
That is an 11 plus 1 plus 3, 15.
Okay. Easy enough to retrace y'all's steps. You were not, stealthing your way in. You were not trying to be undetected. You guys were just marching through the mud. It's pretty easy to be like, either this is us or somebody came up behind us and we didn't see them, which has happened before, but you're pretty sure it's you guys. So you're able to, and it's just kind of Gorbjorn and Saga like pointing at things and being like, yeah, he's like,
Just keep licking our fingers and holding them
Yeah.
up. Just
holding him up, and you're like, that's a footprint right there.
Anna kind of like peers
Everybody,
up
like,
towards
lifting
the
her over
front. She kind of leans over towards Fen like, do you think they need any navigational help?
As the
Let them have
Rangers
that.
stand in the middle of the group following behind.
Let them have their fun. They can play at being rangers too. They
We're
might have
actually
learned a
doing
thing or
pretty
two from
good.
us.
Yeah, it's
We
kind
did-
of working out. Saga's
Yeah,
like,
I think we taught them well.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Now, from our two at the front, I would like a perception check from each or one of you with advantage.
Should I make it with advantage?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. 13. I rolled a 2 and a 6.
Okay. So you're walking, you're keeping an eye out. To the best of your abilities, you are able to get to an area where you're like, yeah, that's mud. You're like, that's mud. So you at least know that you have entered the area. You guys will have to veer fully off the path to go towards it.
Okay.
That's what you have so far.
Good.
Gorbjorn also licks his finger and then like points at the mud.
Anna, would you like to use the lantern? Is this a good time for that?
But I thought we were.
You're muted.
We're breaking up badly.
Oh, you're
Oh,
here
no.
now.
You just.
I don't know, really. I suppose it couldn't hurt to see whether or not there's one around that we might be able to catch unawares before we're in the area too long. What do you all think?
I don't think it could hurt to have it out.
I guess so. I just don't know if we are fighting a monster and then we have to hold on to the will-o-wisp. Is that just going to make it harder?
I mean, I suppose if it's closed in the lantern, it can't move
We can
around
give
too
the
much.
will-o-wisp to Nanna. She can double fist some lanterns and stay
Oh,
away
okay.
from the big thing.
Exactly.
good.
I will be the lantern bearer. Meg would be very proud.
Okay. Okay, that's alright then.
Okay. So you're pulling out the lantern and starting to scan the area.
The apertures, yeah, just kind of like doing a slow pass back and forth. Not trying to be like too fast with the movement, just trying to like figure out if there's anything unseen just creeping out there.
Okay, here's my question now.
Uh-huh.
Are you just doing a pass with this, or are you holding it out during your walk?
I think that. Yeah. What do y'all think? Do you think that it's worth the risk? It might attract other beasties to us, but then again, if we can get the jump on a will-o-wisp, that's that thing checked off.
I think it's Nana's decision.
I could. I mean, it's pretty easy for me to do dancing, my dancing light jellyfish or my minor illusion things. I could have those running around and maybe they'll think it's another will-o-wisp and come in.
Not bad. Not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Might get curious at the very least.
I mean,
Alright.
I don't know. If the lantern seems like a risky business.
I only worry about what else it might attract to it with all that light. We have
Okay,
some
well,
difficulties.
my illusions are less light. My dancing lights are a little more, but thankfully they only shed light.
In a 10-foot radius. So,
She
it's
says
only-
in a DM voice.
yeah, it's only a dim light in a 10-foot radius, which I think is less than a lantern.
It's just a bracketed imperial conversion from her
Sunlight.
Canadian metric version.
Yeah.
So what
Her-
are you guys?
So that's fine. Nanna will not have the thing out the whole walk. She's only going to do a pass across the area before we go
Okay.
off on this branch of the path.
Okay. Roll perception, Nanna.
Okie dokie.
Oh, I'll run over. Guidance. You got this.
Just smacking shoulder. You can do
Lady
it.
scissors. Yeah.
So does that add
A D4.
A
D4?
D4.
Okie dokie. And you said perception, yeah?
Yes. Sir.
Very good. Excellent perception. Ooh, nice. That is a total of 24, my good
Ooh.
dude.
You are certain there's not a will-o-wisp within the beam. You are without a shadow of a doubt. There's no one here. Not yet.
No. It casts a light a good way away. I'm certain I'd see one by now. Nothing for a while. No sense in keeping it out.
That's fine. Press forward and look for dead man's fingers.
Saga, you're bringing out dancing lights now?
Yes, I will. Instead of normally I like the jellyfish, but I will try to make them wispy this time around. Keep
Mhm.
them just a little bit more round and kind of. Well, actually, it'll be a little bit. I'll think about was it? Wasn't. How did you say her name again?
Mira?
It isn't Nira. I was gonna say Neve, but that's the other game. Nira, like Nira's lights. Hers were kind of round like that, so I'll do that.
True. Okay. You create these lights. Now, here's my second question. Are you all stealthing?
I can give us a pass without trace if we are.
Ooh, we would be good.
That would be lovely.
All right.
Roderick will try to stealth, but good luck.
Well, you got a +10.
Yeah. With pass without trace, you get a +10 on that.
So you'll add your modifier and a +10. But because of the, how you say dancing lights, you will all be rolling with disadvantage.
But I couldn't. It's 120-foot radius. I could put them 120 feet. Like, I could put them pretty far away from us, like all over the place, scattered, like real will-o-wisp would be,
Yeah.
instead
But
of just hovering in our area.
I appreciate I'm still going to go with disadvantage.
Whoa. All white.
But good rebuttal.
Are we still in wood or are we in like swamp,
I'm going to consider this
marsh?
still the wood.
Okay.
So if that affects any of our rangers and whatnot.
Oh no!
Nanna, you could probably do a straight roll because you're in your favorite terrain.
Could I?
Well, I mean that's
Oh yeah.
how it works,
No,
isn't
yeah,
it?
That is true. My dude, I struggle so hard, knowing what I'm supposed to be able to do. Oh golly.
I will give guidance to Tordrick because he was talking about his armor being loud.
Okay, Tordrick, you get to add a D4 to whatever you got. So plus your modifier, +10 plus a D4.
Yes.
So I got. So in other words, I get a 10 and a D4 and then -1. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Well, if that at least gets rid of the -1.
Right.
Yeah.
So disadvantage, yeah.
And
What do you
Joshua,
know?
are you able to get Gorbjorn for me?
Yeah, we got a 21 and a 26. For
Okay,
Roshan and
Gorbjorn gone. Roshan gone. What do we got?
I got a 32.
33, my dude!
All right,
29.
Tordrick.
A disadvantage, boys. 29.
26.
Ooh,
Wow.
Look at this.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah!
Saga, you are like, you realize that you sort of made yourself a beacon and you're like, oh no, and start spreading them out after a moment. This becomes apparent to you, Finn. All of you, first off, shockingly, so quiet. Tordrick's like holding on to his armor and just trudging forward, trying not to make any extra
Hold your
sound.
pecs.
He's walking like this because he actually wants to go, holy shit, it worked!
He's so excited.
I'm really proud of you, Todrick. You're doing great.
Just,
You all
I'm so quiet.
Exactly.
you all are stealthing forward. You're like squishing now through the mud the further you go. You realize that for a lot of you, this will hinder your movement some. If you have an ability or such that changes that, you're fine. So there's just like there's the occasional slight popping sound as you have to pull your feet out of the mud. But with the sounds of nature around you, it is muffled. Easy enough to keep pushing forward. I would like 2 people or somebody with advantage to roll a perception check for me who is looking out for this big tree.
Seems like Saga would be the one that knows there's a big tree to look out for. So
She also told everybody the situation.
Yeah.
I can
hey,
still try
Saga,
it,
don't forget to look out for that big tree, Saga.
That's what I was doing. Oh.
Yes, that's
got
your
it, Finn.
advantage.
She's
is
got
what
it.
it vaguely sounded like. So
Yeah.
you go ahead and roll with advantage.
Hell yeah.
A 18.
Okay. Moving through the mud, keeping your eye out. Big tree, big tree, big tree, big tree. You can see about 100 feet away through the mist. You get just a glance of the shadow of it. It's a pretty big tree. And you can see, like, glancing at the ground, it is starting to get a bit more damp to walk through. Like, it's becoming less mud and more of that stagnant water, which she spoke of that it was near.
Okay. I look to the group and I'm like,
Gorbjorn nods. He gets it. Or he's going to say he does.
Do we understand this?
I'm going to go fully based on if you can or cannot understand it as a person. So Gorbjorn nods.
Roshan
starts-
was looking in the opposite direction, so totally missed it.
He looks back, Saga's doing double thumbs up, and Gorbjorn's nodding, and you're like, yeah.
and Saga starts moving at a more quick, silent pace.
Okay, so
In the air.
continuing to stealth, you are now entering a new area. So go ahead and, hate to do it to you again, you still have pass without trace because I'm kind, but it's still going to be disadvantage. There is water. It's just how it is.
Is that for the people for whom
That's for currently everybody.
Okay.
This is
Is
everybody.
it still woods though?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything that
I-
happened today, more than likely woods.
So this is
Can I-
now. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna try to. I want to try to do something to offset some of this. I gotta do a little bit of this fuckery. I've got minor illusion. I can create sounds, and I can create things. Can I make like the sound of like birds like cleaning themselves in the water, like further over?
You can try. Saga's like, Hell yeah, then.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me nature, just to see how close you get to the aesthetic.
I
think it's mostly for flavor at this point because both Roshan and Gorbjorn both rolled natural ones.
well,
Oh,
if it
hell yeah.
but if you didn't have disadvantage, you wouldn't have had to roll twice, and you would have maybe the advantage was who knows? It would have been good. I need a different dice for this. All right.
I need my bird sound dice.
The other ones were also a nat 20 and a 19. So
Damn.
It's a pity that we might
Okay, well,
Extremes.
disadvantage.
I think this big boy 13 should do it, right?
Yes, Nanna.
Well, I got 22 on disadvantage.
Well, that's nice. There's like it sounds like dripping water coming from slightly like up and ahead and like to the side. It sounds like kind of like a person whistling, but it's like a person pretending to be a bird. So it's like, so there's even like just the wind sound where it doesn't fully work all the time. Because she's like, why can't I remember what birds sound like? I have to remember what I sound like whistling. And it was,
I forgot. I can't
Guys,
help
have
it.
you
I
ever
forgot.
forgotten what birds sound like?
Jenny, show her.
No, shh.
And he's like, I'll do it.
I got 22 just like Nanna did.
All right, what do we got, Tordrick?
Well, Tordrick, when the mud becomes more of stagnant water, he takes his weapon out, the hammer that the sisters gave him, and he quietly puts his hand down the water and closes his eyes and prays to make contact with them, because one of the sisters is connected to the rivers that come from the oceans and such, so, or any type of water. So he's trying to just let them know that he's here, and then he is now going to probably fail. So 1 second, let's see.
Come on,
But after
bud.
my
Come on, bud.
The worst I got was a 9 plus 10, 19 minus 1 would be 18.
Okay. It's almost as if the water knows you're here, Tordrick, and tries to help you a bit almost. You're like, as you move
Hey.
quietly through the water, Nanna and Fen follow suit. Saga, what'd you get?
27.
Okay, easy enough. You are also very quiet, doing quite well.
And then our resident
Oh, it's actually
doctor-
a 20. It's a 28 actually. Sorry. If that.
Oh, is that all?
Gosh, I'm sorry. I've just been given an opportunity so beautiful. I
no.
need a moment to consider
Oh boy, guys.
this double nat 1 situation I've been presented, which
God,
only
guys.
seems fair and good to me.
Oh
What are
my
those
God,
two up to?
guys.
back
Gorbjorn
there?
tries a roll, but it just splashes a bunch of dirty water onto Roshan.
You all make your way forward, doing well enough. Gorbjorn, in his mind, is like reassessing Saga's hand instructions, and he's like going through his mind. He's like, okay, runs forward, jumps up, goes down, huge splash, extends his arms out, yells into the distance, arm smacks into Roshan, who's trying to stealth. Roshan falls back into the water, loud splash, and shocked gasp. And the sound vaguely echoes around you. And he glances back at Saga and gives like a thumbs up.
How much of this awful muck water has gotten on us?
Enough.
I got a 28 stealth. Nobody saw me.
Saga pops out from behind a smaller tree. But anybody
Nanna
within
got a
range probably got a
22.
little splash.
But like, yeah,
You asked me if you got splashed.
I wanted to
I'm
know.
gonna slash you.
Okay.
Um,
Saga sees all this happen and she casts mage armor on herself.
I probably good. Go ahead and roll and see if you surge.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I'm good. I got a 10.
All right.
Oh boy.
And then you all sort of freeze.
Bjorn, this is new armor, and Saga worked very hard on it. I can't believe you just did that.
Gives a thumbs up and then does the hand visual Saga did, which was this.
This is a tree. This is a tree.
Oh, he like looks at you and he's like, oh, a tree. And he looks back at the tree. Water explodes up from around the tree.
Oh god.
And emerging from the water, a huge, just dark green amphibian-like creature. Huge mouth, itty bitty eyes, tentacles that sort of move around it. It is now aware and looking.
I cast fireworks in its face.
What spell is this? Is this like prestidigitation?
It's pyrotechnics. No, we're going
Oh,
hard
nice.
with this.
Oh, we're going hard.
God.
Go ahead. What do I need to do, or what do you need to do?
You need to make a Constitution saving throw,
Oh, I love it.
or you're blinded. Everyone hide after this.
Yeah, Nanna is definitely gonna hide. I'm sorry, guys. Gotta do it.
Intelligence, you say?
Constitution.
Oh, that's
Which
much.
is probably, yeah, it's probably
Oh,
fine.
that's better. 19.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, it's fine.
Poof, poof. These explosive fireworks that like kind of they trail off like little squiggly jellyfish legs, explode in this thing's face, and it turns its eyes directly to the group. I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
What is my magic? Was it 2? Because I just cast. What? Okay,
Just waiting for
Think-
that good battle music to cue in.
good. I rolled a 3 on my magic surge, but it showed 1. My mage armor would have made me a 2, and this one is like, so I'd be at 2, so I'm
Well,
good.
then it would be 3 after this. Okay.
I'm good. You have a Tides of Chaos. Just a
I know.
reminder.
I'm. Oh, believe me.
Okay.
Boy.
Thought I
Oh,
would let
boy.
you know.
No, please, I always appreciate a reminder, though. We all know my brain is sometimes very, very small and very, very smooth. All right. Go ahead and jump into this. 20 and up. Okay. 15 and up.
Tordrick,
Oh shit,
Tordrick
Tordrick!
has the highest initiative of a
shit.
player?
I'm in water. This is my
This
spot.
is my element.
It's gotta be a bingo spot somewhere.
If
Merman!
Believe it or not. He's going to cast Blessed in a 30-foot radius.
Not yet. Sadly, something will be going before you.
Oh.
But when I made the bingo square, in my mind, it was being the highest player in an initiative. So you
Yep.
may mark that off.
What?
my-
What's
That's
your
what I thought
initiative?
was better bit.
Because Gorbjorn's is 16.
Oh
No!
Tordrick had 18.
Okay.
Hey!
Hey,
We're good.
He rolled 19 for initiative, but he gets a
no!
negative one.
Yeah.
Well done.
Believe it or
dude.
not.
It's a Hanukkah
Nice.
miracle.
What a beautiful festival of lights and rolling really well for initiative for like one person. Everybody else. And then Warbjorn. 10 and 10 to 15.
14 for Roshan.
Five to 10.
Got a 9.
I also got a 9.
7.
And 10. And then at the end we have Saga, who stands there still a bit in disbelief, but
Oh, baby.
I did so much stuff at the start, you know. Makes sense.
That's very true. This thing's by the tree. Let me just vaguely set y'all up.
Tiny little beady eyes. You'd think they'd be hurt by that.
These eyes are so small. It was just hard to get a beat on them.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sean is near Gorbjorn. Nanna. Okay. All of you sort of scattered amongst a similar area see this huge thing emerge next to the tree in front of you. And it just does a loud... It just does a low ribbit.
Oh boy.
And with that, it's going first.
Ah, God, no. Guys.
Ooh.
It is going to... You watch as two of the tentacles whip out and it's going to just walk forward a little bit. He's friendly. Moves towards the group. Two tentacles whip out and are going to grab at some people.
What about the people who did the good stealth rolls?
The nat ones and the pyrotechnics have fully ruined any current stealth. Stealth is now out the window unless you try again.
Okay.
Roll a d6.
Well, if the pyrotechnics had worked, you would have been blinded, all right? So, it would have been good if it worked.
Okay, the first tentacle is going to go for Gorbjorn. $18 to hit. Neat. And...
Oops. Oh, no. Oh, God.
He takes 18 points of damage. He is not raging yet. And he is currently grappled.
No!
He's going to use its second tentacle. The second tentacle goes for Fen. $26.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Boy. Bye-bye, guys.
Nanna's
Oh
gonna
no.
up. Finger guns. Then you take 16 points of damage and are grappled. Let me just make my markers. Just getting myself organized. And then you watch as the tongue lolls out of its mouth
Oh, I hate that.
just as long as the tentacles, and it is going to whip out towards the group. Na-na-na. And that tongue is going for Tordrak, baby.
Don't you dare tongue lash me. How dare you?
How dare you? Go ahead
I
and
demand
give me
consent first!
a strength saving throw, Tordrak.
Oh, no. Oh, I've got this. Baby. 17.
The tongue wraps around your ankle and you use your hammer to try and steady yourself and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just by the smallest increment, the ground is just too slick under your feet. And if you were on solid ground, you would have done this.
Damn.
But it is going to pull you forward with its tongue and directly into its mouth where it is going to try to bite you.
No, thank you!
Okay.
So it's going to make a bite attack now.
Very rude.
Does a 19 hit?
Always.
All right. Always.
Oh boy!
I rolled very bad on damage. You take 13 points of piercing damage,
Oh, that's bad.
Okay.
and it swallows you.
All
No!
right.
Bites into you, throws its head back, and like a pill, Tordrick is pulled into its gullet. You are currently blind and restrained as you fall into the darkness of this thing's stomach.
Okay.
That's my turn, guys. A casual, fun turn. Now it is, I believe, Tordrick's turn. Tordrick, you're currently blind and restrained. That doesn't mean you can't do stuff for them.
I go for my flask to have a drink. No, it's kidding.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
Well, I bet to have a shot before I go down with the ship.
Choice.
So I'm blind and I'm restrained.
Yes, so you're going to have
Pull me into a
disadvantage
newt.
on some things, like attacks and whatnot, but you can still attack. But getting out seems very, very difficult. That does not seem like something you could do easily.
Right. Tordrick is so is he still holding on to the weapon that the goddesses gave him?
Oh yeah, he still has a firm hand holding onto his weapon.
Okay. But he can't really move in there, correct?
You can start swinging. You'll just have disadvantage.
Okay. He is going to eternally attempt to cast Sacred Flame
All right.
and see if he can internally barbecue this creature, or whatever.
Yeah, you
Yeah, buddy.
start going for it. What do I need
Doesn't
to roll?
Sacred Flame come
Well,
down
it
as
says
like
you-
a pillar from the sky?
It does. It comes from outside. So,
Alright.
but he is going to
Fucking
be praying to
awesome,
the
dude.
goddesses that they, we have something to eat tonight, barbecue, like that thing.
Frog legs.
Frog
What do I need
legs,
to roll?
bitch.
Dexterity, 15.
Okay, there we go. Fails. Go ahead and roll damage as just he is swallowed, and then just there's a hit of fire that flashes across the side of this thing's face, just radiant fire.
And it does 13 damage.
Ooh, all right.
How does that look like it treated the beastie?
He looks like he got like a slap in the face. That's the
He angry about it.
he's been angry the whole time. Does not seem extra angry. Just seems the normal amount of was attacked at his house angry.
Did he loosen his grasp at all?
No.
Tordrick is in him belly.
Yeah, Tordrick is currently going to be chilling there for a hot sec.
Tordrick has been fully vored.
Don't get me demonetized from the money I don't make. I'm sorry, I gotta roll damage against Nanna now.
That's fine, I understand.
No, I'll resist.
Oh,
As the thing comes up and just like from its movement of like sloshing around all of the liquid here, that how to put it beautifully and to continue our lack of monetization. The smell of shit fills the air as this thing hobbles forward, huge and menacing. And it seems some things are attracted by the smell
No.
coming off of this thing.
No.
And you can hear the sound of bugs buzzing through the air.
No.
Roshan, who is fully dampened, as you're starting prone, you pull your head up and just bugs are on you instantly. You are just in a swarm of flying insects. And then out of you,
This swamp is gonna be the death of us!
We'll be fine.
Saga like watching from the background. Yeah, this is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Saga gets the other swarm.
Oh, good.
And this one is going to take attack against Roshan. What's your armor class, Roshan?
12.
Well, I was just like, I'm not going to hit. I hit. Need to ask your boyfriend to get you some armor.
No, that's okay because Roshan hits back.
That's true. That's very true.
Hopefully before he dies.
Okay.
Roshan, you're going to take 8 points of piercing damage as these bugs start to bite.
Okay, then
No,
I
that's
need
not
a dexterity saving throw from the bugs.
Oh.
16.
That just passes. They take half damage,
Okay.
which is still more damage than they did to me.
There you go.
Ha.
Oh,
23
Hot
halved
damn.
is 11.
All
nice.
right.
Not too bad. Fire damage?
Roshan, you knock half of these things out of the sky. There's
Hell
just
yeah.
an explosion in front of you, and the mass is quelled by a solid half.
Good.
Nice.
The other ones are going to go for Saga as they start to swarm around her.
I didn't bring any bug spray.
Oh no.
Does a 13 hit?
I got my mage armor up for once, so no.
Hell yeah.
They just
Ah!
bonk against the
At
magic
last.
on their skin and are just not able to get in. Also, this is something, this brings this back to my attention. Real quick, could you tell me what your mage armor looks like as these bugs struggle to try and break free? What does it look like? I can also wait for your turn if you want to ponder.
That's a very good question. Give me a moment.
I will. That is the end of the bug's turn. Gorbjorn is up. He is currently grappled, but it seems the big dumb frog stalked directly in front of Gorbjorn. So
Very
do with that as
dumb.
you will. What do we got?
I think it's Gorbjorn. Sorry.
Josh.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Ben's
Gosh.
pretty mad, huh?
Yeah.
We were talking.
Gorbjorn gets really mad and is
Yeah.
going to shout as he rages and just take both attacks at this thing. Oh wait, he needs to roll. Do you have his wild magic table?
I might be able to pull it up. It's just the normal wild magic.
No, he's using a different one.
Oh,
But
of
I can
course
pull
he
it up.
is.
Well, like is it a different one or is it just like barbarian wild magic?
It is
a different
yeah,
one.
It is a different one.
Oh, well then I am no help.
Special.
That's
You
okay.
got a 4 on that one.
Cool. I actually have that pretty close. So
Okay.
pretty cool.
And if that doesn't change any of his attacks, he will recklessly attack this rude frog boy. Does a 15 hit with the greatsword.
15 hits.
Great.
Most excellent.
And
Careful where you cut, Gorbjorn!
that is
Here's nothing.
12 damage on the first attack.
All right.
And second reckless attack. Should I make it Great Weapon Master? Yeah.
You have to embody
15 hits
Christo,
you.
which is it's always Great Weapon Master and always
That's all
reckless.
the things.
Yeah.
That's all the things. Every
That
time.
one is less. Only a 9.
9 does not hit. Is he's just swinging.
Yeah.
And as he yells to the sky once again, but this time, why not? Raging, and it's if all the plant matter, the kind of the plants of this swamp stand at attention and notice him,
Oh.
and the algae and like slimy plants move across his body, and start to
What?
like encircle the ground around him. The
Like
plant
that.
life temporarily grows around you. The ground within 10 feet of you is difficult terrain. You do not suffer penalties to your movement to move through it. So now he's just surrounded by plants that are like attached to his legs.
Friendly
Amazing.
plants.
Very friendly plants. Roshan, this being vaguely near you, you think, if I had to try and walk through that, it'd be difficult. But
I bet that terrain would be difficult to walk through.
Boy, oh boy, that terrain right there looks pretty difficult.
Now,
All right. Gorbjorn just begins to wail on this guy. Perfect. Roshan, you're up. Sorry, back to back.
That's okay. I think Roshan is going to... I think he's going to take his turn to turn into, or unleash his wings. They fold off of his body, and then he's gonna heal himself.
Aw, Monkus.
I love every transformation, but that was such an anticlimax.
Yep.
that was
I mean,
so good.
If it were a bonus action, he could do more, but
No,
he
it's
really
just-
can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but like I just love the image I get every time of Roshan, sprouting his
Angeling
wings,
up.
and it's like, yeah, and I hope I feel better.
Bonk.
And
Yeah,
that's
good.
it.
Perfect. You heal yourself. Eyes go black. And you glance around. Gorbjorn aggressively attacking. Fen and Gorbjorn both grappled. Nanna's luckily towards the back of the group, unassaulted. And as you take a glance over to her, as you're assessing the situation, you hear the beautiful cacophony of and there's the splashing sound as more things decide to join the fray.
Lovely.
You hear like,
Silly, silly.
frogs, and you look. Ooh, really big frogs. Nowhere near the size of the one in front of you, but very large frogs.
How
They
many?
make their way in, brought in by the noise. And
It's okay,
Roshan,
boys. When it gets around to my turn eventually someday, I got it.
oh boy, when I get this, Saga's like,
You
looking
just
at
wait.
her armor. It looked like.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. This one goes for Fen. This one goes for Saga. This one goes for Gorbjorn. That one goes for Nanna. As
Am
they
I not held aloft in the air?
No, you're just currently grappled into your spot.
Oh,
It has
okay.
not lifted you yet.
All right.
Lift me! Lift me!
Hoist
higher,
me up
please.
into the air, Frog
Please!
Daddy.
Pick me up! Okay, so let me just grab this dice so I can do it quick. First, Fen. You're like, lift me up, and you like throw a hand out and just like block its mouth from being able to snap around. You're like, pick it up! It is not hit. The next one
my
goes
goodness.
for Gorbjorn. It gets advantage. I could do math. 14.
Not what he's
Does that
raging,
hit?
right?
Does that hit, Josh?
Yes.
14
For-
hits Gorbjorn when he's raging?
Gorbjorn,
Oh.
I don't think.
Raging
No.
Gorbjorn?
Raging doesn't
No.
affect
No.
his armor class.
Oh, does it?
Not Gorbjorn.
It only does sometimes when he
Roshan.
rolls fancy magic
Yeah.
surges.
Okay. He takes
I didn't hit though, right?
It doesn't
Did
hit.
not hit
No, it
doesn't.
Gorbjorn, does
Cool.
hit Roshan.
on the backswing, just bonkuses this big frog out of the way. It doesn't do any damage, but it stops it from being able to chomp. The next one goes for Saga. Um, 16 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. So Kay rolled very badly on the dice, but we'll do what we can. You take 3 points of piercing damage, and when you feel like the slimy liquid of its mouth touch your skin, there's an
No.
instant pain,
No.
and you take 8 points of poison damage.
I don't care for it.
And now you are grappled.
I wasn't at full hit points, and now I am lower.
This thing has you in its mouth and sort of biting at you, and it's trying to do what happened with Tordrick, but it's a little smaller, so it's having to try and angle you to swallow you.
How
So you're-
big is this thing? Like, compared
Big
to
enough
dogs?
swallow you,
Oh, okay.
but just big enough to swallow you.
Got it. Got it.
just big enough, can fit Gorbjorn inside. And then the other one is going to go for Nanna. 16 to hit again.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. Nanna takes 4 points of piercing damage. Feels that same sting as the liquid comes in contact with her body. 4 points of poison damage. You are currently grappled. And this thing is attempting to try and angle you to swallow you.
Oh, no, you don't.
It's all the froggies' turns. Nanna and Fen, you're up. Go in the order that you'd like to go. Both of you are grappled. Fun. Would like to go first.
Do you mind if I go?
Go ahead.
All right. With my bonus action, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the big one. The one that has me grappled.
All right.
And I'm going actually I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the one that has Nanna grappled.
Okay.
Yeah, change on the fly there. And I'm gonna take some attacks at it with disadvantage.
Grapple doesn't give disadvantage.
Oh, grapple doesn't give disadvantage, so I can
That's
just
restrained.
cool. Cool. I like that. With
You're just gonna get eaten
sharpshooter
next turn.
with sharpshooter, that's a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
All right. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit of dice rolling here.
Nanna, just prepare because you're on deck.
Yep, got it.
Followed by Sokka. I just like to jam out to the fight.
So with sharpshooter, sneak attack, and what do you call it? Hunter's Mark damage on that. It's 26 points of damage to the one that's grappling Nanna.
Oof. This arrow just jams into one of its eyes, and it like gives out like a terrible little squawk sound. But it is still up.
All right. Well, I'm going to shoot at that one again.
Go for it.
That one's probably going to miss. Yeah, that one. Well, I don't know. We know we got an idea of the AC of the big one. This one's a 7 to hit.
7 does not.
Right.
As it pulls back in pain, the second arrow goes by.
All right, dread ambusher attack. So
Go
one
for
more
it.
attack this round. That one's going to miss too. That was even lower.
The tongue like pulls you to the side, or the tentacle. It's hard to aim, but you're starting to get your footing.
All right, and with my interaction, I'm going to pop my pocket open and hope Jenny flies out and thinks some bugs taste tasty.
Jenny fucking hates it here. She's gone.
Okay. Well, I was just hoping that maybe she would like some bugs. Like,
these bugs are. She looks at the swarm, considers it. I'm gonna roll her intelligence.
The bugs do
Wisdom.
damage. I don't know if that's a good idea.
She's like, ooh, and then watches like a pile of them burst into flames, and she's like, ooh. She's just gonna take off.
yeah, wrens love bugs though. That's all. All right,
flies into the swarm and is ripped to pieces almost instantaneously. She flies away.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, end of Fenn's turn. He can't move obviously because he's grappled. So.
All right, Nanna, you're up.
Nanna is going to kind of try to center herself, take steadying breaths. It's hard. Everything hurts. She's very tired, but she's pushing through, and she uses her ranger ability, Slayer's Prey. She uses a bonus action. However, she's not going to use it in sync with an attack. Instead, she's going to make use of supernatural defense whenever the target of my Slayer's prey forces me to make a saving throw, and whenever I make an ability check to escape the target's grapple, I add a d6 to that roll.
I'm going to ask you a question just real fast. This is just
Yeah.
based on my vague memory of this ability. At the beginning, does it say to acquire said prey, you have to hit it first?
No, this is not one of those. As a bonus action, I designate one creature I can see within 60 feet.
There you
The
go.
First time.
That's all I needed to hear.
All right. Yep, I designate it. That's it.
Cool.
And I want to try to roll to break the grapple.
Okay, you can either do strength or dexterity, or athletics or acrobatics. That vibe.
I am proficient in athletics. I will do that. Does that mean I get advantage or no? I can't remember.
No.
No, never mind. That's a
Only
thing.
if your
Means you add
ability.
your proficiency.
Oh,
Add your proficiency bonus.
which is already built in.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that's what I
Should
thought.
be in there.
Excellent. So that is a 17 for athletics.
You put all of your strength into pushing this thing's mouth open and move out of the way. Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh boy. Oh shit. Oof, buddy. Oof, buddy. Con saving throw. Cool. That's a 3.
What is it?
It's a 3.
You fall prone.
Oh fuck.
Pain tears through your chest as you hurt yourself. You fall prone in front of this thing.
Help. Please.
With that, I'm going to say even with your movement, I'm not going to let you stand up this turn. So you could start crawling, but it'll get an attack against you if you leave its range.
Oh boy. And like it'd be with advantage since I'm
Yes.
prone still, right?
Don't move. Don't move.
Y'all, I'm staying here.
Nanna just kind of like sits down like, good.
Help.
All right. I believe that's it for you, Nanna.
Yep.
Saga, you're up.
Hello.
How large is this battlefield?
Pretty big. The size of a forest.
I mean more like, in terms of enemies, how far away is the furthest one?
Furthest from you.
Like, would it be 60 feet away?
Oh, yeah. All of the enemies are within 60 feet of you.
Lovely. Are they within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
All enemies are within 30 feet of me.
Yep.
I love the sound of this.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I love the sound of this.
I am going to cast Hypnotic Pattern as a careful spell. Nobody has to roll their saves. Everybody passes, but all enemies need to roll their saves. Wisdom, please.
Okay.
Oh, that's my girl.
I hope that works.
I hope so too.
I will give, as a reaction, I will give the big guy, Bend Luck minus a d4.
Ooh.
All right. Let's start with... What is this ability called?
Bend Luck?
Hypnotic Pattern?
Oh, Hypnotic Pattern. Yes, indeed.
Does it specify or does it just say creature?
What do you mean? Like human
What
or?
it says, or does it say humanoid? What does it say?
No, it's just creature, I believe.
Okay.
It is creature. Each creature in the area. Every
Alright.
creature in the area. So that's bugs, that's frogs, that's big
Okay,
slug
start
frog.
with bugs. Okay. Bugs. Wisdom. Failure.
Perfect.
Trying to figure out how to mark this for myself. That'll do. Second set of bugs. 16.
That passes.
Okay, that bug's fine. Frog on you. Fails.
Perfect.
Frog on Gorgon. Passes.
Yeah.
Frog on Fen. I rolled that the wrong way. That's not how towers work, Jillian. Frog on Fen. Fails. Frog on Nanna. 13.
Fails.
All right,
Yes.
fails. Big Frog. Wisdom saving throw.
Minus 1d4.
Okay. He gets a -4.
Very good.
Natural 17 on the dice.
Wait, -4? Oh, I guess plus is...
Yeah,
Well, what
plus
is it?
Stuff that he still had left. So. Mhm. I made my math harder. I hate it here. 1 second. Sorry, guys.
Because he could still fail.
Yeah, he could. This is actually very close now. I was just like, perfect.
Unless he's got a +2 wisdom.
Okay, so I did this dumb. I'm going to do it the better way. 17 plus his wisdom. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
He's that wise? Who is this kid?
Saga looks at him. Who are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, -4, he would pass, yes.
He succeeds. Okay.
Yes.
Saga throws her hands up like, this guy. All right. You got
Okay, and that is my action.
Over half the battlefield.
That is good. Not as good as I wanted to do, but that's fine. You know, you can't have everything.
I understand.
Didn't surge.
All right.
Thing is at 4. And that was my action. I am holding it up. It is a concentration spell.
Okay, good to
I'm
know.
going to yell out. If anything stopped moving and is staring at the giant jellyfish, do not hit it. I repeat, do not hit it. Okay. If you hit it, it'll break it, and it will start hurting you again. That I'm going to do as my bonus action. Look to Nanna and cast Sanctuary. You don't hit anything or cast any spells. You'll be fine.
Is Sanctuary concentration?
No, it is not.
All right. I think I ask that every time, but it feels like it should.
It seems like it would be, but
Feels like it should be, but it not. So.
don't search.
All right.
Woo! Excellent.
And that I will that was my I have movement left over. This thing is stunned. Can I step out?
You are grappled.
It is stunned though. Charmed.
It is charmed, but it is still grappling you. I would give you advantage on escaping, or I'll roll to see on its turn if it just lets you go from the awe of the jellyfish, but currently still holding you.
Okay, so I would need to use an action to get out. I can't use movement.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just get comfortable.
Yeah, you just kind of like rest your head on its head. You're like, okay.
Well, I'm just gonna talk to him and be like, well, most of that worked. You know, it could have been a little better, but I think overall.
As you trail off talking to your new friend, we are going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break. So, guys, get comfy, go get a snack. We are in the height of battle. Half the battlefield has been pacified, but for how long, I guess we'll wait and see. But Big Boy's still in play. So we'll see you guys in 10 minutes. I'll get right back to it.
Yay! Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 71 of On the Backs of Gods. Currently, we're in the middle of a fight with a bunch of frogs. One really, really big frog, one like with a lot of other very big frogs, and some bugs who showed up because it smells real bad here. It's a time. Nanna, currently terrible pain in her chest, is on the ground, but a large, beautiful jellyfish enters the center of the arena and just sort of spins and shines beautifully, and it's just frogs like, and then like a swarm of bugs that just stops and
Well, wouldn't you know?
I love it.
wow.
Bugger, you're wonderful.
Gaze at Lady Sator's radiance, except not you guys.
Don't look into its eyes.
Why is that? Stares at the jellyfish ball.
No, I spent the
Hail
sorcery
the
point, so you don't have to.
But anyways, let's get back into it. And by back into it, now time for a big boy.
No.
So at the top of the round, Tordrek being inside this thing, you realize that, for less of a better phrase, you were being digested. So you were going to take some damage while just chilling inside of this thing.
No! No, thank you.
Wow, okay. Kind of rude. I rolled so terribly. You take 6 points of acid damage from being inside this thing.
It's just a light prickle to start with.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get past the skin and whatnot. Dwarves
Oh,
have
God.
thick skin.
The sisters are protecting me.
Yeah, the sisters are like, ew.
This is terrible.
But anyways, you guys are grappled. You then watch as it has Gorbjorn and Fen caught. One of the frogs next to Fen is just staring at the beautiful jellyfish in the distance. The other one's still attacking Gorbjorn. Another tentacle comes out from behind the huge frog and is going to whip out and grab for Roshan.
No. No, rude.
He got wings now.
And I will ground him.
No.
hate
Rude.
it. I hate it.
26. I only can roll for grappling with tentacles.
Free bird.
Just free the bird.
Holy shit. I'm not here to kill you guys, but I'd like to actually roll some damage. Roshan, you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Rolling 2 1s and a 2 on the damage.
He'll use his reaction to call for a dex save.
And it was, you did that on the swarm, and then you went, okay. I was just making sure you had your reaction back. Cool. Yeah. 19.
It
So half.
saves, but still takes 29, 14 damage.
And this is fire damage.
Yeah.
It looks like it does not hurt as much as you think it would.
Well, that's rude, because it also takes 7 more radiant damage.
That
8,
looks like it does
because
just
I'm
fine.
level 8.
That looks like it does just fine. All right. It has you grappled. You know when you just don't have enough grapple tokens? There we go.
A struggle.
You know when you just grapple so many people?
When
but
you put too
I'm
many
struggling.
tentacles on a frog.
sometimes there's 4 tentacles on a frog and the other one whips out and is going to grab for the only unrestrained person, which is Nanna.
She's laying down, though.
Um,
She's
So it has
sleeping.
disadvantage because she's prone.
No, it's a melee attack with reach.
Right.
This is melee.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
melee.
okay. Well, it's
She's
flashing
deaf.
out from a distance, right? That's
No, I'm not rolling with disadvantage.
I mean, he's got advantage actually.
Oh, thank you, because I rolled a 1.
Oh, you're welcome.
Fine.
I appreciate us keeping it honest.
Just like
Yep.
a nat 1, though.
Oh, that's better. That's more like it. 22.
I'm glad I can help.
Oh, god damn it.
Maybe. There's a lot of
Oh no,
DMs
he
in this group.
does need to make a wisdom saving throw though to hit her.
Yeah,
I
because
can
of
do that.
Sanctuary. What does Sanctuary look like when it comes from Saga?
Oh, it looks very similar. I'm gonna actually describe my mage armor at the same time. It looks like my mage armor. You know that look when you look into a pool and it's got that wibbly wobbly patterns?
Yeah.
It's those going like all over your skin, but in some kind of like a iridescent sort of thing. And then when anything hits it, it kind of ripples like touching water. And then when an attack actually goes through, it kind of splashes a little bit out.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. I love that.
So what does it look like when Nano does?
This water wraps around you, and this tentacle moves forth as like its itty bitty eyes narrow in on you. And with an 18,
God.
it grabs you. How many hit points you got? I just want to know where I am emotionally.
Oh, yeah, you know, I mean, like, I'm pretty high up there still, but, you know, the night's young. Nanna is currently sitting at 52 hit points out of 60.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah, for right now.
Hey, you better than me.
I am losing
For
to
right
you left and right. You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are
buddy.
currently grappled. You're on the ground, and you're like, great. Just trying to get myself back together.
Come on, please.
But then the frog is going to...
At least let me get away from the other one before it drools on me.
Nope. Let's see here. As it should be. The tongue, once again, now no longer having to worry about Tordrek, lolls out of the mouth and is going to attack the person who has been causing it a lot of problems at the moment, which is Gorbjorn.
No.
I need Gorbjorn to make a strength saving throw.
Come on, buddy.
Uh, 19?
The tongue wraps around him and he just sort of holds his ground on it and just like pulls it taut and then like lets it fly back up like into its mouth.
Hell yeah. It's like.
Actually, I'll wait on mine and he's right there. That's fine. 2 tentacles. Right.
Mac, I love your Foley noises that you do. Just
Okay.
I grew up on animation in the 90s. What can I say?
you're beautiful. Love it.
That is the...
God dang it, Indica.
That's the end of its turn. I just saw the comment. Nice.
Y'all just feeding each other.
Tordrek, are you here with us verbally?
Yeah.
Aha!
I just couldn't see you, but it is your turn, and you were inside.
I see it.
the house.
I see everyone. Well, actually, I see no one right now. I'm stuck inside a frog.
Oh.
When the mouth opened, was I able to see that opening?
Mm,
Or was Tordrick able to see it?
sadly, no.
Okay. So I had no clue that whole thing happened. Okay. All right. So as he's praying, he's going to ask the sisters to send him the power of their magnificence, and he is going to attempt to burn the inside of the creature with word of radiance coming from his Blessed soul.
Ooh.
So you need to. The creature needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
I will gladly. $26.
Makes it. Never mind.
Damn.
Like half damage or something?
No. It is. It's just the will of the divine word over the will of the constitution of the creature.
Okay.
Damn.
You try, but it is the burning on your skin, and it's getting a little hard to focus.
Oh no. Buddy.
Might want to use some spell slots. Yike.
Yeah, cantrips might not cut it here, bud.
Yeah, but I can keep myself healed for sure, because Tordrick is all about healing, so he doesn't have a lot of offensive.
It's very
If you
difficult
have
to
a bonus
digest.
action heal, you can use that if you need to. You may not need to.
So, okay. As a bonus action, he's going to cast spiritual weapon or hammer.
There you go.
And have a hammer next to him so that he can try twice to miss with disadvantage, I suppose.
Well, I mean,
But you don't have disadvantage because the
weapon
hammer's
is
fine.
separate from him.
Yeah.
I believe
It
you
is
have to
not
be able to
grapple.
see what you're attacking.
Oh, he can see it. He's
All
in
he
it.
can
Isn't
see
he?
is what he's
Pulled
attacking.
towards him.
He can't.
Yeah.
He's blind.
He's blind?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
blinded in there.
Oh,
He's
I didn't know
blind and
that.
restrained. So this thing
Got
will
it.
be attacking with disadvantage, but it is still their attack.
Okay. Yeah. So a secondary hammer appears somewhere in the dark.
Or
Behind
there's
us.
a hammer somewhere.
Exactly.
You
Yikes.
feel it in
Okay.
your soul, Tordrick.
That's
Somewhere there's
he's
a
feeling
hammer.
it in his soul, all right.
Yeah, go ahead with your attack.
No, he can't attack. He just casts this turn. Next
Oh,
turn.
it attacks this turn. When you
Does it?
cast a spiritual weapon, it attacks
Yeah.
on that round.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will take that then.
You're like, I won't argue.
I'm not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, please.
You said a disadvantage. So
Yes.
1 second. That one's a good roll. So let's see if the other one's worse. Oh, I rolled a 1 is the one I get to keep. So I rolled an 8 total.
You guys from the outside see like a hammer like come out of the frog, like it's rearing back to hit, and then it like goes over the shoulder and misses, and then like goes like back around the back of the frog. It's just Tordrick has no like, it's like being like hit it, and it's like somewhere near me somewhere. But it does not hit.
It looks like somebody's blind trying to can't see, trying to make something work that's not working because he gets
and
one left.
it's waving around the creature, but when it hit, boy oh boy, will it hit. And I think that's it, Tordrick.
Oh, unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, guys!
And for hypnotic pattern, there's no saves. Those guys are just chilling.
I think we're about to croak.
Yep.
So these bugs are going to attack Sawyer.
Oh,
Okay.
Boy. TPK in the swamps.
We're fine, guys. You're so negative.
I know.
Where's all that
Sitting in the
optimism?
mouth of a frog. Relax.
Come on.
My optimism left me with that giant puddle of corrupted worms.
Oh, is that what it was?
21 to hit.
I feel like it was sooner. Yeah, that hits.
Any D4s in here? Nah, that would have been too easy. You are going to take 12 points of piercing damage. And now I need a Constitution saving throw to see if you can maintain concentration.
I believe in you.
Yep, that is a 23.
That
Oh,
very
yeah.
much succeeds. It's just a nuisance, kind of a painful nuisance, but a nuisance.
Yes, it does hurt.
The other bugs are just sort of in awe. Some of them have like rested on top of the water and are looking up at it. They got nothing to do. But Gorbjorn is up. He has the big boy and a not hypnotized frog next to him.
Well, he's gonna focus on the big boy.
There you go.
Reckless, Great Weapon Master. And that's a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
Nice.
Oh wait, he doesn't crit on a 19?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No. Be great if he did.
It would be great.
But that is 22 damage on the first attack.
Nice.
And that is a nat 20.
Hell yeah!
Can you
get
fill
to mark
in
that space?
Yeah, can
He
you
gets
fill in
another
his
one.
space?
That is 9, 18 plus 15 is 33 damage.
Okay.
Damn, son.
A crit with Great Weapon Master, so he gets another attack.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oh,
So he's gonna
Hell
do
yeah.
that.
hell yeah, buddy.
Oh, and he rolled a 2 and a 3, so
Ah, come on, Gorb.
He hits amazingly well twice, and then like the other frog like chomps the end of the sword. He's like, and it just for a moment it's just too delayed, and he does not make contact on the third.
Shoot.
Anything else from Gorbjorn?
no, that's all he can do with a 0 move.
All right, Roshan, you are up. The next players to go is Nanna and Fen.
Roshan, is there a way to hit both the extra frog on Gorbjorn and the big frog with a shatter and not hit Gorbjorn?
It's like a 10-foot cube.
Sphere.
Yes, that is doable.
Okay. I'm aware it might hit Tordrick,
But we'll
but
see.
that's okay. Maybe flesh is good sound insulation. I don't know.
We're gonna find
So
out.
I need
Worse than air, it turns out.
Constitution saves from both of them.
It's
Okay.
gonna make him throw right up. Who knows?
Constitution from this here toad. Little guy gets a 12.
Fails.
Oof, he says such good constitution, but also a 12.
Wow.
12s all around, boys.
6 and 8 is they both take 14 damage. And does one look worse off than the other?
Yes, the toad looks worse than the big frog.
Okay, then the smaller toad will also take 8 because I'm level 8 radiant damage.
Nice.
Okay. He's still up, but is looking pretty bad as just like there's just this horrible breaking scream sound that like resonates in the area. You don't know if it affects Tordrick or not. He's inside of a frog.
Great.
You're hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best.
You almost totally destroyed him.
Is who looks the worst? Like I think Saga does.
Yeah.
I will throw an eye toward you and give you some healing magic. Then you
Yeah,
gain
Thank you.
9 hit points.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And that is all of my turn.
Perfect. Frog time.
Frog time.
The only frog with us emotionally is the one with Gorbjorn. Squares up. Open he mouth. And is going to try and get him. He's going to attempt
Does
to
not understand
also,
that he's just too big for him.
you can't convince this frog that. 20. don't know why I'm counting. He takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage, or already halved,
Okay.
and then 4 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And now he is grappled by 2 things, and also now restrained.
Oh no.
So
You.
there's just a frog that has like mouth around, and then there's the tentacle. It's a lot. So now he's grappled and restrained.
I've seen too many animes to not know where this is going.
Yeah, and Gorbjorn loves it. He
Yeah.
signs up for multiple people encounters.
Yeah, he's just like,
Gorbjorn's into
why not?
I quit the show.
Bye bye.
Weakling.
We only do dad puns on this show. That's the Toad turn. All the other Toads got nothing to do. Nanna and Fen, who'd like to go?
Were you
Take
going
it.
to roll for the one that was hanging out with Saga to see if it lets her go?
I will on Saga's turn.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll do it on its turn. It's its turn. Let's see.
Thank
This is
you.
going to be a luck roll that I'm going to roll for us.
Okay.
Not very lucky.
No.
Below a 10, you'd have to attempt to get out. It's much easier than it would have been. But you are
Yeah,
still.
but that's a whole action. You know, I can do so many things with an action.
That's
Now
very
it's just
true.
a tongue hug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just sort of
I
like,
mean-
you're just sitting in its mouth now. You're like, all right.
Yeah, but you know, now my feet aren't in the water. I'm not gonna get like foot fungus or anything. Probably.
Yeah, that's true. Nanna and Fen.
Go ahead, Nana.
I wanted to know exactly how many more guys not hypnotic patterned are currently up on the field.
So tempted to make you roll insight to see who is hypnotic.
We've said it
pattern.
a bunch. It's
You have, but to be able to tell, go ahead and roll insight. Abby's screaming.
Yeah. If you fucking shoot one of my hypnotic patterns, I'm gonna. Hey, you
I'm
no.
sorry,
you
I'm
know
gonna
what?
try.
No. You have
Yeah.
sanctuary. I told you to not fucking attack. I told you.
It's-
You have
it's-
sanctuary up. I told you not to attack.
that.
I
Continue.
did.
What was your insight?
Okay. My insight is a 16.
Okay. You can tell that the one in front of you is no longer actively trying to kill you.
That's good.
Easy enough to tell. You see Fen has like kind of fully turned his back to the one near him.
Okay.
You have
so
opinions
Fen
and
wouldn't
you're
do
like,
that if
he's
it
not
weren't a threat.
stupid.
Yeah.
Saga is currently just casually
Is
sitting
he?
in the mouth of another one. It is not trying to swallow her. The more confusing one is one of the bugs. It's hard to tell if a bug is fully pacified because it's still like buzzing around and doing things. So the bug, you think at least one of the groups of bugs is still, the one on Saga looks aggressive, the one on Roshan harder to tell. The frog next to Gorbjorn is actively trying to eat him, and then the big guy in front of him is actively trying to eat him.
Cool. Good. So what I would like to do is I would like to use my action to utilize Hunter's Sense on this big frog. I'm assuming it's within 60 feet of me.
Yes.
I immediately learn whether this creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are. If the creature is not hidden from divination magic, which I would find very baffling about frogs in the wood. Nana
Yes.
kind of like squints at the thing and kind of like just sort of focuses.
If I was a big frog, and you imagine you're a big frog,
Nature
if it was
senses.
a big frog. No.
So-
Little lines of like light pale green magic kind of like reaching outwards from Nanna, kind of like root systems reaching across the battlefield and kind of like testing this frog, this big thing. It is not meant as like an attack. This is purely a feature that lets her know stuff about the enemy.
I know.
Alright.
It has damage resistances.
Mm-hmm.
It is resistant to fire
Mm-hmm.
and lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another thing that you haven't encountered before in regards to the lightning. It's resistant, but you also think it's something else to the lightning, but you don't know what it is. You think there is like an extra something about it, but it does not fall into the category of resistance, immunity, those types of things. So you're like, I don't know what that is, but there's extra.
I convey that as well as I can to as many party members as can hear me, because talking is a free action.
Yeah, please convey it without using the terms like in the books. Please.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, go for it.
Seems to me like this thing,
6 seconds.
there's no way that fire is going to touch it. Lightning, neither. There's something else about it, about the lightning. Absolutely don't use that, if you can help it.
Okay.
So that was her action. Her bonus action, she actually wants to... Now, I'm assuming the thing that has her grappled is one of the tentacles from the big boy, yeah?
Yes, that is what is grappling her.
She wants to designate a different creature for her Slayer's Prey, shift it over to the big boy, and then, utilizing the same advantage as before, supernatural defense, she'd like to try and get out of this grapple, please.
Can you just use an action to do the thing where you find out its resistance?
I did. Well, I have bonus actioned to transfer my Slayer's Prey over to that thing.
Cool.
So that
So
will
next
be
time.
it for now.
I know what I'm doing in a minute.
I like how Nanna was like grappled in the air, just casually being like, what does this thing got? Guys.
I mean, like,
Like,
if nothing
touch the
else,
skin,
she can spread
rubbery.
that knowledge to everybody else.
No, it's good to know. It's good to know. Absolutely.
Fan, you're up.
Just the vision is funny.
Huh.
Gonna use my bonus action to transfer my hunter's mark to the big guy.
The sound got really weird, but
Yeah,
continue.
it got-
really
So it's
did.
transferred.
Go ahead.
Better? No? Worse?
No.
No, same.
I think your mic changed to a different mic. Like it's not your normal
yeah,
mic.
it sounds different.
Okay.
Continue.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
just
my
finish your
best.
turn and you. Yeah.
Yeah, do your turn first.
Transfer my bonus.
Whoa!
Good. You're good.
Thanks.
Normal.
Cool.
Haha, it fixed
Gonna-
itself.
Transfer my hunter's mark to the big guy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use my action to take a shot with sharpshooter at the one that's trying to swallow Gorbjorn at the moment.
Okay.
11 hit.
11 hits.
Cool.
You adding sneak attack to this one?
Yeah, I'm adding sneak attack to this one because Gorbjorn's.
Gorbjorn's in the thick of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. As he always is.
It's his place.
It's what he does.
It's only 15 points of damage.
Only.
It is still standing by just the graces of whatever god made frogs.
Cool, but it looks real rough.
Oh, it looks
Frog
terrible.
God.
Okay. Then I'm gonna shoot at that one again. Without sharpshooter.
Go for it.
Hell yeah. Take it down, bud.
So it's a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Okay.
No
Hell
need to roll
yeah.
damage. Unnecessary.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll do
I
more
really-
than 2.
All right.
This
All right.
frog, littered with arrows, sort of hits the water and then like kind of floats a little and like kind of rolls a bit.
All right, and I'm still grappled.
Yes.
Okay. Then that's the end of Finn's turn.
just kind of shifting in this tentacle to like magic arrow. And then Saga. You're just chilling in this thing's mouth. You're still technically grappled.
Yeah, thankfully I'm doing pretty good though.
And now you know not to use lightning or fire magic against these things either.
Yeah, I was debating using Chaos Bolt, which has the chance of doing both of those, but I kind of still want to, because if I roll the same damage, it jumps, and that would be fun.
Just be careful, because there's something else on top of it being resistant to the lightning.
I
don't
know,
know
it
what
probably
it
heals from
is.
it, but... I mean, it's only if I happen to roll a 5 and a 3.
What are you doing?
Chaos Bolt, do it.
Yeah, I do it.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, why not?
I only need a tiny bit of a push, really.
Yeah.
Not like it's in you. It'll
Anyway,
still
well,
hurt.
And anyway, if what if who says I'm gonna roll lightning twice?
I would love to
anyway.
see it though.
It doesn't
okay.
strike twice in the same place. We know that.
Well,
Yeah,
now
exactly.
it-
All right. Just
Except
to
for
like,
now.
just to like, have some fun. I'm gonna cast. How many sorcery points is it to do this? For every spell level. Okay, I will cast Chaos Bolt at. I've got enough for. How many? I've got 3. Yeah, let's do Chaos Bolt 3rd level twin spell.
Hell yeah.
Nice, nice.
You're aiming
Okay.
for the bugs on you and the big boy?
Yeah, might as well get them off of me. The frog is dead, so yes, the bugs on me and big boy. both.
Okay, separate attacks. And say which one
Yes,
you're doing
indeed.
first.
Oh, there is that thing. If it jumps, it can't target the same creature, which means it would have to hit one of the creatures that are stunned. I don't know if I want that.
Well, if you
Does it
hit
say
a
that?
bug, can it jump
Wait.
to a frog instead? Does that count
But-
as different creatures?
Yeah, could they just jump to the opposite one? That would work, right?
No.
A creature can be targeted only once by each casting of this spell. So if it were to jump, would it jump to the other guy? If I'm twins.
If you
So you're twinning. If you're twinning, and it should be able to jump between.
I say
If you're
I
targeting,
don't think so.
okay.
No?
It's already
So then-
both are targeted with this twin spell.
Yeah.
It is from the same spell which do split off.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not Christo.
Okay, cool.
Like,
Good to
Christo
know.
could rules
I'm-
layer,
Well,
but
she's got the DM like thing, so
Yeah,
it's
I
all good.
wasn't asking for any rules
yeah.
lawyer on it.
It's fine. That's totally okay. Knowing that, I'd rather do Guiding Bolt because Guiding Bolt is a better choice.
Gotcha.
Overall. So same dealio, just Guiding Bolt 3rd level twin spell.
Okay. Or still twin spell. Okay.
Still twin
Nice.
spell. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Who first?
So one just right up in my face and the other one at the frog.
Yes.
That is 2 rolls. So the one right up in my face is a 17 to hit. Do I have? Is it within my? It's within my melee range, right?
Yeah, so disadvantage on that.
Disadvantage, yeah. So the first roll is 17 to hit. The second roll is a 9.
9 does not hit.
Fuck. Okay. Well, that's all right. That's a lot of sorcery points wasted. But
Yeah. Big boy.
okay. No, fuck it. We just said that you keep telling me to use that. I'll use the first set thing and it's gonna work.
The
Hell
thing you just
yeah.
attacked was the bugs.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I don't like them.
After
I
telling
don't
yourself,
either.
you're like, I shouldn't use this necklace for the things because I want to dance, but these bugs, I swear
They're-
to God.
They're in my face.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, please roll damage against them.
I will say, if I go to attack this giant frog and you don't let me attack it because I just hit these bugs, I will
You
die
put
on the
yourself in
spot.
that situation. And we'll see what happens.
All right. So it's a how many? So it was a 3rd level. 6d6.
Oh, these bugs are about to have a bad time.
That's a 6, 11, 13.
I feel like you can stop counting. It just feels like we've gone past the number. I just feel like we're there.
27 points.
You see that it's not gonna hit, and you grasp the necklace around your neck. The guiding bolt veers back up, and these bugs sizzle and fry and disappear from existence.
Bug zapper. I love it.
And now you can roll against the frog hemoth.
Okay. Tides of Chaos.
Do it.
So now we have 2 Tides of Chaos and 2 Forsets. Oh,
Oh,
2.
boy.
1.
What's the other one?
I was thinking of Tides. So 1
Okay.
Forset, Tides.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Good
Um,
golly.
Yeah, it's like a 23 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. It will be another insane amount of damage. Give me a moment.
By all means.
Oh,
Hi.
and I mean it's radiant damage. That's
Cool.
a given. I'm
No.
gonna try to roll more d6s instead of rolling the same d6 6 times. That's a better
Yeah.
idea.
Usually helps.
Apparently it's not. 10, 23. That was way faster.
This bolt explodes across this thing's body. It's like there's just a char of radiant energy that goes across its froggy body, hanging on by a thread.
Is it nauseated at all?
That one didn't land for me.
I said, did it nauseate it at all? It doesn't.
Oh,
want
I
to
know what
float?
you're trying to say. No,
Okay.
Okay.
that is a very specific parameter.
Shucks. Better not be that lightning. Could have done that. Well. That is my turn because bonus actions, sorcery points. I can yeah, I will. I'll use my bonus action to convert some spell slots to sorcery points. I'm gonna look up the rules on that again, so
Sure, I'll let you deal with it.
let me go.
All right. Hanging on by a thread. Being big, being a frog. That's where he is emotionally. Takes a glance at the scenery. Considers. But like real quick though, it's going to lash its tongue out again. And it's going to aim for I'm so sorry, Roshan.
Oh no, buddy.
Roshan is like, okay, and this tongue just like smacks into him.
Gross.
So I'm going to need a strength saving throw.
That's cruel.
I pick it. Talk to the guy who invented the frog hemoth.
I will
Nine.
give you. I'll get that. This is probably not gonna help. I was gonna say I was gonna give you my reaction to add a d4, but nope.
Don't add
No
a
point.
D4 to his strength rolls. That's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping maybe you'd be lucky.
And doesn't even try. It's like, no. And is pulled towards the mouth. It's like when you see those horrible pictures of when like a frog catches a bird. Like
No.
the wings are bent awkwardly as
No,
he's
I
pulled
hate
into the mouth.
Oh my god.
It is now going to make a bite attack against you with you at the mouth.
No.
Did I take damage from the tongue?
You did not.
Oh, okay.
He's just bringing you closer.
He just want a
I
little
rolled-
kiss.
Pull me closer, tiny tongue frog. I did it backwards. That's okay. Oh, I'm about to wreck your shit. I'm sorry. With over a 20, it is going to bite into you. Feel the pain sting into your shoulder.
No.
And then the darkness you do come.
The darkness.
He's here.
I will. I'll take a dexterity saving throw as I erupt in flames.
Cool. Let me give you this damage first, and then I will gladly roll.
It's better than nothing.
Holy moly! You roll ones all game, and then the gods bless you with tens. Isn't that right, boys?
Oh boy.
One moment.
No, sir. Thank you.
You take 33 points of piercing damage.
No.
Okay, so I don't hellish rebuke because I'm unconscious.
And
No.
limply, you are pulled into this thing's gullet. Tordrick feels somebody land there with him.
Roshan!
And then, using he big frog brain, he's just going to casually retract those tentacles and book it. So Gordion
Valid.
gets an attack of opportunity, but this
Well,
guy's gonna start
lamp-
running. This frog, 2 people in the belly, he's gone.
No.
Oh, he's got advantage
no.
on that attack because of guiding bolt.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's a 23.
Oh, sorry, guys, 23 doesn't hit yet.
That would be the best.
I'm
Sorry, running away
guys.
gets double AC.
Yeah.
If it has 2 people in the belly, more AC.
Oh boy, sorry.
You rolled that with advantage, right, Josh? Just in
Yeah.
case. Okay, good.
What do we got?
Just in case
That is 13 damage. Wait, oh, I'm terrible at barbarian. 15 damage,
You weren't adding the rage.
rage bonus. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because winding up to bat, now fully released from the tentacles, swings hard. There, the snapping sound of like squish and cartilage and just snap, and like its body do lean backwards. Nothing supporting its large frog body upwards anymore, and boof, falls back onto the ground.
Very good.
But technically still in initiative because I think there's some no, you destroyed those bugs. I just moved them off the board. Technically you have, what is it, a minute until those frogs become aggressive again. You guys are out of initiative.
Oh, good.
I think we can probably mop those frogs up.
Person next to you.
Okay.
Someone help
so
me
I
out,
guess-
please.
Oh, yeah, sure. Help you up. I'm gonna go towards the frog, okay? You're good. All right, Fed and help.
And Saga's running towards the frog.
All right, I'll help Nanna up.
Oh, she'll still help her up, but then she's gonna run away.
Yeah, I would also like to get into the frog and get my friends out of the frog.
Yeah,
6 seconds has passed. Roshan, go ahead and give me a failure. As the acid starts to eat away at you.
No.
And Tordrek, go ahead, and the acid doesn't go away, boys.
Yep.
Tordrek, take 4
I'm
points.
sorry, what kind of saving throw did you need? It's been cutting in and out.
You take 4 points of damage, Tordrek.
I take 4? Okay.
Yeah. You can feel that there's an unconscious person next to you, and you know they are also now taking the same damage as you.
Okay. If anybody slides next to me, I'm going to heal them.
All right, go for it. Go
That's
ahead
a
and
good
heal.
call, bud. Get him up. Get him up.
Sorry. I was in the middle of coming back to consciousness myself, pretty much. Let's see.
Vibe.
Let's see. He gets 18 back, or whoever it is.
Ooh,
They get
you're
18
like,
back.
person, heal.
Exactly.
Hild!
Well, that's good.
Oh!
By this time, people have run over and are like, how do we... And you guys, like, pull the mouth open. Yes, Saga?
Oh, I did have a plan, but if we got it open already, that's
no,
great.
Please, tell me your plan.
Oh yeah, I run up and I throw my hand up in mold earth, and like a big pillar of rocks shoots up and holds its mouth open, so we don't have to hold it, and we can just pull them out.
All
That's
right.
amazing.
Easy enough. You guys run over and start pulling them out. I'm going to want something for this. There's 2 people in there. Gorbjorn, with assistance, go ahead and give me
Come on,
athletics, if you'd be so kind.
Can I emboldening bond?
Sure.
Are athletics rolls at advantage while raging?
Yes.
The
Strength
rage
related.
would have faded.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
It would have gone within 6 seconds.
24 anyway.
Yeah, D4 would have. I mean, there's a D4 on that too.
Yeah, sure, add a d4.
26.
Yeah, there you go.
With your superior speed, you guys are able to pull your companions free. Everybody is out and on the field, no longer inside of a terrible giant frog monster. You guys look back. There's 3 large frogs looking at y'all. Just kind of looking. They're no longer like looking up where the jellyfish was. They're now all just sort of looking at you guys. They're just kind of standing there and looking.
Just a point of order for the emboldening bond. I gave it to Gorbjorn, I gave it to Roshan because he went down, and then I gave it to Nanna because she's not feeling well.
Okay.
So those 3 people have it. Need to stay within a certain amount of space within each other.
Yeah.
We
Everybody's.
get a D4 to add.
Yes.
So
Ability and saving.
the hypnotic pattern has fallen.
Yes.
It's no longer okay.
It was only there for a minute, so by the time you guys are out, they aren't actively moving towards you, but there are 3 large toads looking at y'all.
Are they within 20 feet of each other?
More or less, yeah.
Because Roshan will say fuck it and shatter them, and because he's pissed. That hurt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll take shots at
A lot of
whatever
his friends,
survives.
too.
Well, if things survive, we're going back into initiative.
Okay. His intent is to intimidate.
Okay, so go ahead and roll all the normal stuff first, and then I'll see if I want advantage on the intimidation.
Okay. Wow. Oh, I rolled 2 off of max damage, so 22.
Nice.
That's if they make a con 15 check, or if they fail a con 15 check.
All 3 of them fail. How much damage is it?
22 plus one of them, whichever looks the worst, takes an extra 8.
You yell out in anger in the direction of these frogs. The one in the middle actually fully explodes.
Oh!
And the other 2 kind of look over. And they just book it in opposite directions because they're like, no, we're good, actually. These frogs just decide they are no longer interested in you and start to
On
leave.
second thought.
It's
Good.
Incredible.
They've decided, I'm good, and there's like some bugs that are like, they start to make their way over to the huge corpse, like, okay.
Yeah, all right, we'll dine in on this. That's fine.
And these frogs just quickly run and begin to try to camouflage and hide and be safe because they don't want to explode. And Gorbjorn kind of like gives you like a pat on the back, Roshan, because it didn't even need an intimidation check. Somebody exploded.
Take 1d4 damage.
Breaks your shoulder. No. Tender pat on the shoulder, and he like looks over to the tree, and you all watch his eyes widen. Now with a moment, he's already made his way over.
Okay.
You
What
can
was it?
see in the hollow bottom of this tree, with just a little tiniest bit of light that's able to make its way in, some things catch the light in there. And Gorbjorn makes a beeline for that tree.
Follow after him.
We'd best follow. Come on.
Yeah. You all are welcome to run in after to go check out the tree, as the frogs now think you run the place. Do what you will. Gorbjorn is there first, so he is going to start pulling things out.
Well, when Nanna passes me, like when Nanna passes Fen, like on her way to the tree, Fen's gonna grab her shoulder and cast Cure Wounds on her with that touch, and just hopefully that does a little bit of something.
I should hope. Better than nothing, always.
Actually, you get 10 points back. That's the best I can do for you. So
Not bad at all, dude.
All right.
Does the blindness go away when?
Yeah. You at the second you're free, you can see everything.
Okay.
Right.
The world becomes bright and beautiful once again, comparatively in a swamp.
yeah, I think everybody in the party would have tried to cure Crodrick's blindness if it didn't immediately go away.
Yeah,
I just like
definitely.
patting each other on the back and healing each other while Crodrick's sitting there blind.
Well, I try not to interrupt. It's hard for me to I don't like to jump in. So.
Oh no, it's fine.
So,
Yeah, you can see. You're good.
Okay. So Tordrick will go around to everyone and ask who needs healing. If it's not apparent.
Does anybody need any more healing?
I'm all right. I'm feeling I'm a bit jostled, but I'm fine. Like save it for somebody who might need it more.
Well, I
He's
think
flicking.
Roshan was just passed out.
Wrong stuff.
Yeah, Roshan doesn't also have very many hit points, and he healed himself, so he's over half.
Okay.
Well, I'm half about, so
I'm over half.
I'm yeah.
So Saga looks the worst.
Okay. Well, he'll give some healing out to
Build
anyone
the
who's
cinnamon
close to.
roll.
All right. Saga, you get 15 back,
Thank you.
Ooh.
and Nanna, he's going to obviously back you up as well,
Much
and we'll see
appreciated.
what happens this time. Another 13 for you, Nanna.
Oh,
All right.
feels a good deal better.
You all start to heal and make your way over to the hollowed out portion of a tree. Just for flavor, I imagine with the last moments of its life, the spiritual weapon is just smashing the rest of the bugs that come near the corpse, and then dissipates into a bunch of it looks like a bunch of women who were like central and then kind of splay outwards as the weapon dissipates into the air.
Amazing.
Gorbjorn, very excited now, runs over, is kind of just like a giddy step to it. You guys see that you don't know if the frog Hemoth decided to start collecting things, or if this just happened of its own accord, but it looks like somebody else had quite an adventure out here at some point, but wasn't as lucky as you. You can see that there are the remnants of clothing and some like shards of bone. That's all that's left of a being. It's just these old, nothing on them bones, and like the occasional piece of fabric. But you can also see that there's some things not as easy to eat, like the plate mail that adorns the floor, covered in mud. Might need some repairs, but that is the thing that was catching the light, was this full plate mail. You can also see that there's a weapon nearby as like Gorbjorn just fully goes in and starts like going through the mud and pulling stuff out. He pulls out a flail and he like spins it and he like, puts it down next to the armor. And you watch as he like pulls out, just caked in mud, you assume the adventurer's bag. Not very large though, and it's just coated in mud, and Gorbjorn's like wiping the mud off of it to look for the clasp. And you can see that it beautifully sewn runes around the edges. Did not take too much natural damage to itself. Like it seems to be holding up very well for the circumstances compared to the other pieces of fabric around. And it just looks like it has a stitched on, very content face. Multiple leathers adorning it, giving it colors. There's some purples and reds and oranges with beautiful runic stitching and whatnot around it. Roshan, I would let you roll Arcana, just from a glance.
27.
That's our boy. That's our smart boy.
I'm typing you something.
Okie dokie.
I hope it's a bag of devouring.
Bag of Devouring is the coolest item in all of D&D, and Abby and I would like to talk about it. It's the radish kid. What's wrong with a bag of Devouring?
There's so
Hey, yeah.
much else already.
Reach in there and see if there's
But it would
anything
be
inside.
yours. But it would be
Yeah.
your bag of Devouring. It do
Just
what you say most of the time.
Put your hands in there.
It's a friend.
Yeah.
Does that
A
count
sentient
as
black hole.
making a connection with a beast?
No, it is not a beast.
It's out for its own
Why?
dead man's fingers.
If it were,
The home of an ethereal mummy.
if it were indeed like a living thing, a bag of Devouring, there'd be a lot of talk there. But Roshan, you see it, you've seen it in books, you know what it is instantly.
We might have hit the jackpot. That is a bag of holding. Turn it inside out, Gorbjorn. Well, on a dry patch of ground.
You watch
Not
as
here.
the pocket dimension that was holding all of the things on the inside do spilleth forth, and everything.
Can I try to catch it with a mold earth? Just is my timing good enough to like pull some of it up?
Go ahead and roll initiative against Gorbjorn's initiative.
Okay.
So Josh, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
19.
Oh. 7.
Jesus.
I still do it and they just go woof.
Yeah, it lands on this like kind of dry patch of mud. Woof! Things go flying.
Got it.
Gorbjorn's like, you got it. Gorbjorn's on board. But it's easy enough to kind of gather the things up. From what you can see, Gorbjorn kind of like is now interested in the pile. I would be, if somebody's interested in like looking further into the tree, give me investigation.
I'll do it. Nanna, just stay back. I'll take a look. You rest yourself.
Anna, have you already walked forward?
I mean, Nanna kind of started walking forward.
It's up to you if you stop or not.
Shit.
Nanna, please.
You can do whatever you want to, Nanna.
I know.
You're a grown woman and everybody keeps saying you're the leader.
Does this count for do something fucking crazy? It doesn't seem fucking
No.
crazy, really.
You're
yet.
good.
Yeah, nah.
I mean, it depends on the outcome, I suppose, if it ends up being fucking crazy.
I don't like that. Nanna is gonna kind of check herself before she wrecks herself and like kind of like just press a hand to her chest for a minute and then say, fine, all right, go ahead.
Please, yes, please. Just, I'll take care of it. What did you want to see out of there? I'll look for it specifically.
Well, if we can find that jar.
And Fen will go investigate and see if he can find
Also,
the jar.
Nanna's giving you advantage because she is nearby, kind of glancing over your shoulder.
Saga's looking through the thing with Gorbjorn, and
Cool.
she's just like, the jar's buried in the ground, jar's in the ground.
Do an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
First off, Saga, you get very excited because a lot of glass comes out. A lot of like
Wow.
glass bottles do come out of the bag.
That's fun.
So you start checking them, but they just seem to have stupid liquids in them and nothing that looked like a finger.
Do any of them smell
Ew.
good?
All right.
You pop
With
investigation.
with advantage, the highest was 20. Dirty 20.
Nice.
Um,
Bad.
you go in. There's nothing of any pain or malice inside. It's just more things. You see, like the thing that stuck out to you are like it looked like weird twigs, and you kind of just like are walking very just like crouched and like move in and are looking around, and you realize that you found like first off the remnants of a larger bag that this person had that was pretty destroyed by time. You can find like you reach in and there's like, oh, here's a crowbar that survived. But the twigs that were sticking out of the ground were arrows. This bag was littered with arrows, just full of them. You can like find little pieces of the leather and tell that it was just, this bag was a pincushion at one point. And as you kind of reach out to steady yourself, your hand touches something, not tree, but something metal, and it's dark, and you look over at it. And you see a shield, metal shield, which has like this concentric circle design in the center that goes all the way outwards, and on the edge there's runic etchings. But that's what there is to be found in there is the pincushion and the lost shield. But the people who are looking at the bag that just got turned out and then are reconvening everything in the bag, you find 3 vials, glasses, jars with varying liquids in them. You give them a sniff. One of them smells a little spicy. One of them smells, no, I don't think you know what that is. You sniff it. One of them doesn't really have much of a scent to it.
I let Gorbjorn and Roshan sniff.
You
And
hand
Broderick,
that
he's
one
in the
back.
area. Yeah, I pass it down the line. If any smell.
Yeah. People come over and sniff these random jars.
Puff, puff,
Um, And then you sniff a third one, which you recognize as the smell of a healing potion.
Hey,
So you have 2 unidentifieds and a healing potion. You don't know what level it is.
So like a Baja Blast healing potion.
I'm picturing like it tastes very like code red.
I was assuming a nice, bitter taste of medicine, but it's now canon.
Tequila.
Baja Blast is the flavor of all healing potions. I take it back, it's blue. So the healing potions are blue. There is a potion that's like reddish orange, which smelled spicy. And there's a silverish potion that did not have much of a smell to it, which you hand back. I don't believe in Roshan like that. Gorbjorn can roll wisdom. Just straight wisdom.
It's not very good. 6.
I know it doesn't smell like much. It puts the lid back on.
okay.
Other things you find inside, which you watch as a necklace falls out. It has a pretty dull colored twine, very, very nice twine, but still twine. chain. And on the end is a carved wooden, I guess cylinder would be the shape, tied up at the bottom, and it has little runic etchings on it. There
Can I
is also.
Sorry, is it like a recognizable god or?
You can pick it up and go ahead and roll religion or arcana. Also, you see, looks like a garnet falls out, a pretty nice garnet. 3 pieces of amber also hit the ground near that. A bunch of rotten rations. So many rotten pieces of food. There's a shovel. There's some rope. A second crowbar. You also find a shackle. You find an old bottle of wine. You find 2 daggers. A letter. And a big bag of coin that just slams down on the ground, and Gorbjorn's already there.
Gorbjorn's like, yeah.
Nice.
Gorbjorn's already at the bag. Fen, if you want to, you can start pulling out the shield.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the arrows too. Being a bit of an archery guy, is there anything?
They're ruined, but you can take one if you want
Yeah,
to.
well, not necessarily like wanting to keep them for myself, but like, do I recognize where they came from? Like, are they of elvish make? Are they?
I could say you could grab a couple and bring them out into the light to get a
Okay.
better like.
Yeah,
look.
I'll do that. I'll take a couple of the arrows and bring the shield out.
Brings out this beautiful metal shield and can you can lean it up against the tree.
Todrick, I do you think you could make use of this?
Tordrick holding a shield, like, no.
I know how to use one. I'll see if it fits my size. It's got to be just the right shape.
I think the bigger it is, the better, and the shield's more of your body. Is that not how shields work? I'm
you
not
want to check
proficient.
out the shield, Tordrick?
Of course. Yes. He'll go over.
Yeah, you go over, look at it. Beautiful condition, beautiful craftsmanship. You put an arm or the back, and you pick it up. Just the perfect amount of heaviness. It seems good size. You're able to move it. It's not too big for you. It's not too small for you. Seems to be fine.
Works. I like it. But if anybody else needs it, yes,
It wouldn't
no?
look good with my outfit.
Just
I
standing
agree.
next to it. Eh.
No.
Curious if you could feel anything magical about it.
Roshan will detect magic. Just give a look over once over everything.
The things that illuminate.
Besides your
shield.
friends.
Everybody, the shield, all of the potions, the kind of dingy wooden necklace,
Oh.
The bag of holding itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it. So the shield is magical.
Okay.
I will.
Roshan's real interested in the letter.
Yeah, you can
Whenever.
pick up the letter. And what are you doing, Saga?
I just will mention my role about the necklace. Yeah, 18.
Oh,
18.
yeah.
And what were you trying to ascertain again?
Religion.
The lords, you know.
Yes.
The gods above.
You
and
look at it.
below.
Marriage.
You said you got an 18.
Yes. 18.
You think, like, it does not stand out to you as a god you recognize, but you think you think it looks like somebody's holy symbol is somewhere on there. That's the energy you get from it, but you don't know whose.
This was blessed by the gods. Project. You know which god this is?
Well, let me look at it.
Go ahead and roll religion for me if you'd be so kind, Tordrick.
I shall. Total 12.
12. Okay. You actually have slightly higher chance of guessing who this is, but
He's got his rune book, right?
Are there
Yeah.
ruins on it?
yeah, there's
Like,
some.
is there, there's
very
some?
old
Oh, there's
stuff.
symbols.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll. We were talking last time we played. We talked about how Torter at one point had that book that he got in the library that
Yeah.
had symbols on it. He didn't take that book with him. He put it back that night. Remember, because he went back to the library, but he did scratch down some paperwork of some of those. Oh, he would never
I
steal
had
anything.
you
Torter.
having taken the book with the librarian's consent,
Oh, the librarian.
and we have used it on multiple
Yeah.
occasions. So
Oh, okay. Well, heck,
It's now
okay. Well,
canon.
maybe Gorbjorn took it and put it in his backpack, and now
he's
got
like,
it.
no, we want this.
But
That's what we'll say happened.
Right.
It's like, no, in the bag.
Torter tried to
Right,
put it back.
'cause-
Gorbjorn rolled in later and like yoinked it
Right,
back.
because Torger took some paper and scribbled some of the gods and symbols. So he was going to check some of his scribbles and scratches to see if he could tell if any of those runes were like that. But if the book is around, then absolutely. That's why I didn't use it earlier when we all said, I know somebody's got a book. I'm like, who's got the book? That's I didn't know he had it. So
Yeah, so you reach in to find your notes, and you're like, the whole book's here.
Really me. The whole gosh dang book. When did I get that?
But
I would
as
def-
you pull that out and you start to look through, Roshan, you open the letter. It's already been opened, but you pull it open. It was preserved by the bag, and it's a short and sweet message. Enjoy your spoils. I hope you rot. And at the end, it is signed by somebody named Siv.
SIV?
Yes. And you look at the front, and this was made for somebody named Asger. What you were able to ascertain, it's going to take you longer to get more details, Tordrick, but something akin to, like, you remember a story about dwarves who like tricked a god, and they like turned him into into a mead, and like that's the story that's coming to you as you pick up like bits of this rune. But I'll give you more information later as you take a look.
okay.
But that's what you find on this note. Now sitting there with your new shield, looking at some runes in a book, as Gorbjorn pulls open the bag with the money inside. And the first thing inside, which some of you probably maybe have not seen before, sitting on top, beautiful and pretty, is some platinum. And that's where we're going to stop for today. Thank you all so much for being here with us. We love getting to tell you guys a story. Sometimes I give out platinum, not often. But thank you so much. It was fun fighting a big frog. Next session, we still got to find that jar full of fingers and get us a will-o-wisp to, I'm not going to say willingly, but to at least be in a new place and then be used for some sort of concoction. Who knows?
Any of the things we set out to do this episode.
Yeah, but you guys killed a big frog, though, and intimidated some slightly smaller frogs.
We sure did.
Yeah, and you found some nice swag. So, honestly, all in all, good day.
We should not forget to start the corpses on fire.
Yeah.
And save Nanna's life. Let's save Nanna, guys. Let's do that.
We gotta. If we don't set them on fire before we leave,
They
that
might
is the
come and
priority.
endanger Nana's life later, so.
I
Yes.
would love to
That
see a
one's-
frog hemoth corrupted. Just consider leaving it. Anywho,
Yeah.
No! No,
we
thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys being here. We love getting to tell you guys a story. Here at the Dice Call, we got a bunch of other things going on. Frank, is this week the week you think, or do we gotta wait a little bit longer?
I've already sent out all the sending spells I can. I'm waiting to hear back. I'm certainly hoping so. It's been a while, and it's getting closer, but work is work right now for the holidays for some people. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping tomorrow night. I'm hoping we can continue adventuring in the halls of the dead. Can't wait when we get started, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. We will let you know tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow at 6:30. Tuesdays at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time.
And if you want to know if this is going on, you can always follow us over on Twitter at the Dice Cult. And that's where you know if we're going live or not with all of our fun shows that we have. And on Wednesdays, Abby, what do happen on Wednesday?
Oh, well, on Wednesdays, we have Cordially Invited on the YouTube, but special event this Wednesday only at the YouTube. I was trying to sound like a wrestling announcer, but I lost the thread so quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this Wednesday.
There we go. We got it. All right.
Just got you.
That sounded like a circus,
Thanks.
too. That's pretty good, bro.
All right. Yes. So now that we have your attention.
If we didn't have it before, boy,
Yes.
Boy,
This
howdy.
Wednesday, we are running a special one-shot. It is the little hint. I don't know if I'm able to give out the full name, but the little hint was Oops, All Wizards. It will be run by our wonderful Ian. And yes, we will Jackie will be playing, me and Scott, all wizards, and that will be 7 p.m. Central Time. So whatever that is in your time zone, come see us.
Yeah, that'll be over on is it on the YouTube channel?
It is on the
Yes.
YouTube channel.
Okay, just checking.
The
So
Dice
we
Cult.
are youtube.com/the Dice Cult. If you want to see any past episodes, or tune in on Wednesday for a nice one shot that seems like maybe a lot of wizards.
Yes. Maybe like super high level too.
Cool. Maybe very,
Super
very
high-level
strong wizards.
Very strong wizards.
But, mhm.
I was wondering, I was just going to bring it up, and since we're all here, I was thinking about putting together like a thing where we Zoom and create a world together. If anybody's interested in doing a world building type Zoom thing, audience too, I would love to help put that together with a group of you. We could all share the world and do things with our tabletop or whatever. But I love putting together worlds and stuff. And if anybody's interested,
Frank, I love it.
To do that during the week, every other week or so.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. We'll definitely keep you guys posted if we're going to do it, and tell us if you're interested in seeing it happen. And if not, we're going to do it anyway because we do what we want.
Yeah.
You know,
But we really
we're
would
gonna
love
do
to have
what we
some
wanna
do.
input
Boss
from
of me.
y'all. You know, we'd love to see what you
I'm going to
want to
live
see.
my life and do what I want.
Who knows? You might inspire us.
It's possible. And if you're interested in something a little different, you're like, yeah, boy, do I love D&D, and I love watching it during the week, but what about Saturdays where it should be spooky and not D&D? Well, we have exactly that. On Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Vampire the Masquerade and the Last Remaining Light. Currently, our coterie went to a meeting that they kind of weren't invited to, but assumed they were because they just assume they're invited everywhere and go to everything. It was a mistake and we shouldn't have been there. It was an error on our part. We're not all smart. But that's okay because we decided to go to a different meeting, which we were explicitly invited to. And maybe now we're trapped in a box. And it's just like the first episode all over again. And really,
it sounds like you should have stayed at the meeting you weren't invited to.
Honestly, we wouldn't have been, well, I can't promise we wouldn't have been trapped in a box if we stayed at that meeting. But we will never know because we're currently stuck in a box, but only for so long, in my humble opinion.
I mean, you can never think outside the box if you don't start within it.
That's true.
Exactly.
And as we know about my character Tyr, she likes to think outside the box by aggressively breaking out of it with her fists. And that's what we're all
She
here
doesn't
for. aren't we,
really
Red
see
Bull?
walls. She sees
Walls are a
opportunities
social
for
construct,
windows.
literally, figuratively. And we're going to break them. So if you guys are interested in us destroying this box and the people who put us in it, sure, we'll find out who did it. You're welcome to join us on Saturday for some vampire shenanigans.
It's our damn fear in a box. Sorry, it's oh my God.
They keep doing it. It's a mistake. So thank you guys again. We really appreciate it. Love having you all here. You can keep up with us in particular at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. We talked about our bingo game on Instagram. I just posted everybody's bingo card. So if you guys are interested in what horrors I have them trying to accomplish, by all means, go take a gander. But I think that's everything. And thank you all so much for being here. happy holidays to the people who are celebrating and will be celebrating. I bet you can't guess all my holidays, which is just all of them. So thank you again.
Why wouldn't you? More
Yeah,
presents.
no, if you have an option to celebrate all the holidays, do it. So thank you again. We appreciate it. Love having you here. Love telling you a story. We are here same time, same place every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will see you guys next week. And maybe let's do a raid. How about them apples?
Raid.
So thank you guys so much. Good night.
Thanks for joining.